Well, we did it, boys. We did it. What we say, we're coming home. We're coming home. We're coming home. We're coming home. Who's that? Feelings in the background. Who's that? Got your camera on. Show your face. Ultra funky. Ultra.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just wiping away my tears.
I'm sorry, bro. You know what I'm saying? But the
You know what's
paisanos had to
funny?
put it down on your ass.
You know what's
Jeez!
funny? Jen, I bet
Jeez!
£5
No,
on
I
Italy.
don't. Oh, you did. Big up. So you got what, 10? You win
Um,
10 or you just win your 5 now?
no, 17, seventeen
Hey!
fifty. Yeah,
Nice,
yeah,
nice. That's what's up.
yeah,
Yeah, man. We
yeah.
did it.
It's a shame though.
But
It's a shame.
it's a shame that
Ah,
we. But you knew we were going to win, though. Why's that?
I won't lie. The first half, yeah, the first half, I thought, I believed. I did believe in the first half, but
You
then,
had hope.
yeah, I believed. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Edit audio avatar plus. Wait, look.
Uh-uh. Uh-oh. England is being oppressed today. Can't even get on the stream yard. What happened, Ultra? To be honest, you guys, I didn't even watch the game, but I was kind of getting notifications like as they were scoring, and I thought we were gonna lose. To be honest, but I guess they won in the penalties. Italy brought it home. Nice, nice. Is that karma? Is that karma? Has UK family been taking L's lately? Hmm. I was gonna postpone the stream so I could eat, but Belly kind of sprung it up. Somebody jump on, man. Keep it going for a minute so I could eat my dinner. Spain really wanted it. I knew England was going to lose because Southgate hasn't been playing Rashford and Sancho. Southgate underestimated Denmark, says Ale. Biblical Unitarian Christian says, I bet the Germans are gutted too. What's up, Kushite? I don't know how to say your new username, so I'm just going to call you Kushite. Gurdeep says, I feel medicated. Jeez. Is that what football does to y'all? Is it like some kind of, is it like NBA or NFL to us, I think. That's some wild shit too. I've been fucking with y'all like since they figured out Italy was gonna be in the finals. Uh, yeah, man. So I retitled the stream. Originally, it was called the Big Karma Stream because a lot of people been kind of, let's just say, karma been at hard work this week. Hard work this week. It's been putting in overtime, man. People got their mouth full and their hands full. Mm-hmm. Is that a fat cotton? Big up to Gurdeep. Everybody run over there and sub to Gurdeep. He's starting up a channel. Was on earlier today. Go support the dude. Oh, Ultras. Who is that? Is that Will? No, is that R. Kelly? Who is that crying? I don't
Like
know who that
Stewie
is
is
crying.
crying as well.
He's sad, man. Oh wow. Well, my deepest sympathies goes out to the UK family for your loss, in loving memory, and my thoughts and prayers are with you
You know what's
at this
funny? England,
difficult
England,
time.
they needed to lose, right? Because they
Mm.
voted for Brexit and they didn't want to be a part of Europe.
Mm.
Right? They didn't want to be a part of Europe, so it's not right that they were the champions of Europe. It would just look weird.
So see, it is their karma. Wow. This is the karma for leaving the EU.
This is it, man.
Jeez. Look
I
at
mean,
that.
I don't even know. I don't know if England can even play in the tournament ever again
Mm.
because they're fucking they've left Europe, so they can't. Surely they can't qualify anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, this is karma, man. They came back on that ass. See what happens. Karma's been putting in
It's
work
really
this
sad
week,
though.
Ultra. What you saying?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
do you know what? Karma's a bitch. Karma's a bitch. Like it really, really is. Oof, oof, Karma. She brutal, man.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Damn, what happened?
Here in the UK, and the kids are asleep.
Hmm?
Hold on.
Oh shit. Yeah, man. Karma's been putting in work this week. So crazy how everything is just turning. This is like the last thing. What a display. So Russia, Ukraine, we're in, they not part of Europe. What you mean? Oh, as in football teams. I want to say soccer so bad, but I won't. I won't do it. I know it's already too much that you have to hold that L, so I won't throw salt on the wound by saying soccer, you know. Mm-mm-mm. England should try taking the brown pill after this year. I don't know what that is, but that doesn't sound too appetizing. If I wake the kids, I'm dead meat. Gotta whisper. Gotcha, Ultra. Mm. Jump on Ozzy, man. The link is pinned on the YouTube thing if you want to, of course, only if you like to. Karma is the wife that finds out about my extramarital affairs. But Shaggy, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Even caught me. Where's that song go? You even caught me in the shower. It wasn't me. Had something on the sofa. It wasn't me. That's like the theme song of YouTube. It wasn't me. You even caught me on Hangouts. It wasn't me. Never mind what's in the Discord. It wasn't me. Even when they're striking channels, it wasn't me. Is that you, Ozzy?
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It's like the best song for the occasion.
It was just mad. Yeah.
So who were
For
you
some reason, I
rooting
never
for,
understood.
Ozzy?
I was
Oh,
for England.
oh, I'm so sorry. Deepest sympathy.
Yeah.
For some reason, what?
Yeah. So it was quite sad, to be fair. But for some reason, I always think, I'm just wondering, whether or not I should have paid for the ticket, which is just up the road from me. Yeah. So yeah.
I heard those tickets were going for like 50 grand and shit like that
Probably.
for the from Wembley. And I even read an article that said something about the Italian team said that Wembley is one of the toughest stadiums to play in, like fans wise and shit.
Yeah. Do you know what? I actually remember a time where Wembley Stadium was actually being built. It was like in the mid 2000s. So yeah.
So it's like a new stadium.
Yeah. So it's been there for like less than 15 years.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I've never been to a live soccer game, football game.
Same. I haven't as well.
No, I've been to live baseball games, a million of them.
Boston Red Sox.
And no, bro, Yankees, bro. Watch your mouth. No, Yankee Stadium all day. The old stadium. I've actually never been to the new stadium, but the old.
The one in Queens, right? The Queens, one in Queens.
Bronx, bro. Bronx.
Oh, okay. My bad.
The old
Yankees,
one is
the Mets are Bronx, right? I mean, it's Queens, right?
The Mets Stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Stadium. Isn't it near Jamaica, right?
I thought it was Shea Stadium. No, Citi Field. That's in.
Is that near like that's near Suffolk County, near Long Island?
I think isn't it like on the way to New Jersey? I think it's on the way to New Jersey. Let me see. Yeah, Flushing. So that's yeah, it's like you're right. It's in Queens. It's Queens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's the Queens that that goes towards, what do you call it? Towards Suffolk County, right? Like a Long
Or
Island.
Suffolk County, Long Island. Yeah.
Yeah,
Queens.
Suffolk County.
Yeah,
That's that county.
yeah. Long Island starts off with like Brooklyn all the way to the west, and then Queens, and then it goes into Long Island. You know what I'm saying?
Technically, it starts from Hempstead, right? Hempstead, New York.
Well, I mean, over the river, because Manhattan is there. But once you cross over the river, then you're in Brooklyn. Yeah, the East River. Yeah, and then if you go past Brooklyn, you're into Queens, and then if you keep going, you just end up on Long Island's right there.
Yeah.
Uh,
You from New York originally?
no, I'm like an hour and a half north.
Oh, you from upstate?
No, I'm from Connecticut.
Oh, I see. All right. So it's like in Hartford, right?
Yeah, a little in between Hartford and New Haven. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Have you ever heard of Aaron Hernandez?
Aaron Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez. Is it it's a woman, right?
No, football player.
Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez.
NFL player.
Yeah. Apparently he went to jail, right?
Yeah, he murdered some people, went to jail, and then killed himself. Yeah. I'm from the city. I live in the city he was from.
Oh, isn't that like a Britain, right? It's New Haven. That's in the same county as Haven, right?
New Haven. No.
Bridgeport.
No. We're from. Aaron Hernandez is from Bristol. We're from Bristol. Right next to New
shit!
Britain.
That's the same county as Haven, right? Haven County.
Nah, Bristol's in Harford County.
Or is it
Hartford County?
Bristol. Oh, I knew it was either. It was one of the two. Like it's a suburban. It's suburban Hartford, right? I mean, how is that Hartford? Suburban Hartford, yeah. Yeah, I always get confused for some reason. I'm really good at American, towns and all that, particularly in the East Coast. Do you know, I was so surprised that it's about 40 minutes drive from New York City to what do you call it? To do you know that guy, Steve Wilkos?
Who?
Yeah, Steve Wilkos. You know the presenter, Steve Wilkos.
Oh yeah, the guy who was Jerry Springer's bodyguard. Yeah. Stamford, Connecticut, or Norwalk.
I believe it's like Stamford, Connecticut. Yeah, it's like 40.
Yeah, they're right there.
Like 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that close. To be fair,
yeah, you could get on the train. I could catch a train to the city, like New York City. We're like on the train.
You could be like an hour, like from Boston to New Hampshire, like by an hour, literally, So yeah, so if I was going to the US, I would, I would like to actually. What, from New Hampshire?
Oh, from New Hampshire? No,
I thought it was quite close.
No, that's quick. Yeah, Boston, New Hampshire is quick. I'm talking about from me to Boston is like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Fuck Boston anyway.
For
Boston
some reason.
Is whack.
For some reason, actually, it's quite nice in a way.
See, shit like this is so stupid, Jen. People saying Italy won because they don't have black players. Do I agree? Why the fuck would I agree with that? I never even watched soccer. Like, I don't know anything about the team. I've been saying go Italy for the last week just to piss off you guys. So, like, don't come at me with that.
I thought you were Italian.
Bullshit. Yeah, I am. I got a lot of.
I thought you were Italian. That's why you supported it.
Yeah, of course. But it's funny because I also have a lot of part South Italian, Sicilian, and British and Irish is the other largest part of my DNA.
For some reason, like I remember a couple
Yep.
of years back, I used to watch videos of guys in the US doing road trips and all that. So they would go state after state and all that, you know, driving around,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks quite interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Big up, Mr. Payloo. I love road trips, man. I
Yeah.
drive every fucking way. I've driven to here in Florida so many fucking times I can't even remember. North Carolina,
All you have to just go on the I-95,
Fucking-
right?
Minnesota. Yeah, pretty much a straight shot. Yeah, all through there. But there's different ways to like dip around the traffic, you know, if you want to make it easier. But
You can like, take the 19, what do you call it? Interstate 95 from DC to Richmond, then go from
Mhm.
Richmond to let's just say to Augusta. Take the 85, right? Interstate 85.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you
Yeah,
go
95
past
goes from the Florida Keys to Maine.
and you go past Anderson, South Carolina, Greenville, and all those places. So yeah, quite interesting. I heard like CT is like quite expensive, like it's more expensive than Massachusetts or Vermont or New Hampshire.
Are you just going straight through the light and then... Hold on one sec, sorry.
Like,
They just give you more for $5 on
Let me see. I hope this is the real reactionary. How do I do the layout thing on here? Hold on one second. Layout, because I don't want people to. See, that doesn't work. Is that you, React?
Hey Jen, it's React. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Congratulations. Well done.
Hey, andiamo, paisano. That's what's up, bro. Auguri. Yeah, go ahead. We did it, boys.
Italy never lose on penalties, I'll tell you that.
yeah.
Really? Is that like a thing? Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Is that like a thing of theirs? Like they always win on
That's right.
penalties. Nice.
Yeah. They sort of hustle their way through to the end of the match, not playing particularly, outstandingly, and then on penalties they managed to somehow win.
You know what? I'm quite
Oh,
gutted.
that's
Like
what's up. I'm pumped.
England losing all the man.
The FNATs are going to be like having a field day from tonight, because all the people who missed the penalties were ethnic minorities.
No way.
Oh no.
All the whites scored, everyone else missed.
That's sad, man.
Oh, it's fucked up, man.
If it was the US, you'll probably affirmative action. What do you call it? Free kick, something like that.
There'd be a protest. Oh shit. All right, I gotta try to switch phones because I have to run to the store real quick. One sec. All right. So I could just go in the same studio, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can go and come back as long as you use the same user ID.
Yeah. All right. Let me put my damn headphones in.
Ozzy, you right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
How's it going?
It's going good, actually.
Any interesting uploads recently
About what?
that you've seen anywhere? I was checking out a channel called Cognitive Dissident. It's pretty good.
Oh shit.
Yeah, isn't that it's analyzed in here, right?
And yeah, that is. Yeah, you're right. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or academic screeching as well. Like with the educated guest. Had quite a few names.
All right.
I believe
hold on.
he's an atheist, right?
Is that the real Raj?
Of course it is,
Yeah.
everybody. Hello, everyone.
Are
on
you
the
guys
panel.
gonna be cool? You and react like you guys be civil or
I'm a very civilized human being, man. I can talk
Yes.
to even Darth Vader if I had to. You know, like, it's not,
Darth Vader? Yeah.
it's not an issue for me. But obviously, other people might have an allergic reaction. I've heard that radiophobia kind of like is infectious. Yeah,
Oh
kind
shit.
of like yeah.
Are you good, React, or are you? Yeah. Is that,
I'm good for now.
put
I'm
our
good for now.
okay. All
He's
right,
in his
cool.
he's in his safe space. Don't worry, we'll give him his safe space. He's okay.
Okay.
Oh, Ozzy, look after him, man. Ozzy, look after him, dude. Ozzy. Jen, we're gonna hate the Italians for a while. Italian bashing coming in.
You know what? You guys will be cooking lasagna tomorrow night.
I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't watch football anyway. Like I
Me
watched the
neither.
last- I kept them jumping in
bullshit.
and out to watch it, to see how it was going. Then as soon as I've heard it was penalties, I was like, we're losing because the penalties is like a curse for what's it called for England. Yeah, they've always lost.
Do you know what Reaction said? Apparently, he said, okay, most of the people that missed the free kick in playing for England were ethnic minorities, and then he added on and said that apparently ethnics are going to have a field day tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean they'll try and well, obviously, if they won, they would say, well, these people, they're the good ones. And then if they don't do it, they're the bad ones. So either way, you kind of lose with the FNATs. They'll milk it either way, man. So it's just the fact that people miss the penalty, innit? That's as simple as that. Skin color isn't really the ins and outs, is it? They just need to practice more on the thingy. Yeah, what's the title
It's
of the
just
show,
something
Jen?
to blame it on. Like it's just some. Oh well, at first it was called the Big Karma live stream, but then I changed it to Big Up Italy. But you know what though, as Ultra so kindly pointed out, is that this loss is England's karma for leaving the EU in Brexit.
Funny you. No, but karma is an interesting thing because like what I've realized is a couple of months ago, like one of my, let's just say my least favorite people, Football Faz, was doing loads of shows on Sikhism, and I was glad he did it because it actually brought me and you together, Jen Wallace, and other people that I didn't get on with. We kind of, because we're both from the Dharmic faiths. But one thing that is karma is that his channel's gone. All of those videos are gone.
Yeah, there's one down. Oh, was that the channel with all those shows?
That was all the channels, all the shows, so it's all gone.
Oh no shit.
And the other thing is, there was 3 people doing the shows here. It was Nibiru, it was Faz hosting, Nibiru and Luton, and now they're all fighting each other. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
they're all fighting each other.
Come on, man. Come on. If karma isn't kind of like, being played out straight here, I don't know what else is, man. I even said to
So
him that
many examples.
I even
this
said
week,
to him
it's
to
crazy.
the other thing is I even said to him, take the Shahada down, the flag down, because he was talking about filth. He had to take it down after, not because of the filth, but because it was a Shia flag. So the karma just keeps on coming and coming and coming. Obviously, I condemn everything that's happened to him and his family and stuff. No doubt about that. That's out of order. But I'm talking about his channel.
Yeah. Well, isn't it funny how you said, like, watch after the Sikh shows, they'll have no one to fight, so they'll just start fighting themselves. That's exactly what happened.
Let nature take its course, right?
But they should have really started on Hinduism, because Hinduism is a real kind of like complicated. It would have taken years to go through Hinduism, to be honest.
There's so much though, like to dissect of Hinduism, and plus the same thing, like, I think I was trying to talk to that day I jumped on Reactionary stream, right, with your boy, Why So Religious, yeah. where I was trying to say, like, you can't measure, like, there's the way that they measure the two is kind of unfair because I don't know, you're putting like dharmic faith to like Abrahamic standards or
Yeah. And
principles,
it doesn't
and
work.
it just does not work. And unless you understand them, like, it's going to be very hard to not get the
But
concept.
did
or
you see why?
disagree
Have you
with it.
seen why he's so religious? Have you seen his face,
Yeah. He had his camera on the other day.
dude? I'm shocked. He looks normal.
Yeah, he's just like a normal American dude.
Man, like he looks like a normal guy. I don't know what I was expecting. Some four-eyed, kind of little skinny little man with like loads of books on his arms. But he's some big American dude. If I saw him down the road, I wouldn't even think he's this lunatic called Why So Religious. Maybe that's why he's so cocky, because maybe he can handle himself when he's going around freaking talking religion to everybody. Like maybe he's
Yeah,
used to it.
I'm pretty sure he does some kind of martial art too, or something like that. So
Yeah, he's a next. I actually look up to Why So Religious. Yeah, he's
You know what, though?
He
like,
comes across as
all
somebody
bullshit.
ex-marine, right? Why so religious?
God,
He looks like it, definitely. But yeah,
No,
I'll
that's
give it to him, though,
Stella's the
because-
ex-marine.
who?
Stella, the guy on Ralph's panel, he's the ex-marine.
Yeah, I don't know how. I was trying to say I'm going to give reactionary. I'm giving him like a little kind of pat on the back because he feels to get him in a safe space. I don't know how you put up with that dude for hours and hours. Like, I don't get it, but he's just so dogged in his approach. Like, I actually kind of like him in a way because of how annoying he is. But when you're on the receiving end of it, it is unbelievably annoying. Like, yeah, I know how
But I
people
think
feel
he has
about
a
me.
different respect for like reactionary, because those two can actually talk civilly, and like. But the thing is like, I noticed that a lot of times, like, Weiso will be more likely to concede a point or like understand a point when it's dealing with Abrahamics, and then like
Yeah, but the
he's
thing is,
not willing to understand anything when it comes to us, and it just ends up in conflict.
Yeah, but that's more of a kind of fact that I think he's probably brought up in a Christian faith as he was growing up. So he's from the Abrahamic kind of mindset. Like, he kept on going on at me about he didn't understand how, the Sri Guru Granth Sahib is kind of like listened to in Kirtan, like hymns, what you call like Kirtan, and it's listened in different ways, yeah. It's not like something that you read in the same kind of way that you read maybe the Bible and you say the Quran and the Torah and stuff. So he just doesn't get it because of the
it's
Abrahamic
not-
kind of mindset.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing like with the Pali Canon. It's more like a collection of, teachings. Like, thus have I heard, the Blessed One was at this forest grove in Savatthi and said this and this, and then like, whoa, what was that?
Yeah, I'm at the end of nearly, I think, the last 4 episodes of Ramayana. The Hindu.
How is it? Is it good?
It's like, look, as a show, it's interesting. Do I believe all of it? No, because I'm not a Hindu. Do I believe certain parts? Yes, because obviously I'm from a Dharmic faith. There's obviously this stuff in there, you're like, oh, all right, that's a bit crazy. But the main thing I've realized about the story is it's about how do you behave, as an individual under stressful and kind of difficult circumstances. And if you take all of the other stuff out, like flying and giants, and there's one part where there's like a cyclops or something, or take all of that out, and then it's just mainly about how does this individual Ram deal with all the issues he had or was put forward to him, and how does he behave morally? And that's what you kind of take away from it. And it's a good show as well, to be honest. I'm quite surprised it's an old one though, but I'd recommend watching it. What's going on,
for some
Ozzy?
reason,
Check it out.
I'm doing good. Like, I'm doing very, very well actually. I'm a little bit disappointed about about tonight's results, but I'll live.
Rest in
Anyway,
pieces.
but like, yeah. So yeah. So
Did you trash some Italian cars or something?
me,
I heard some cars
Nah, I
blowing
didn't.
up. Or
I was at home actually. I was at home.
Yeah, but the thing is, I
yeah.
have to admit, even I was reacting. Like, I'm not a big football fan, but I was drawing and I was watching it as the goal. They scored in the midst. I was shrieking like a girl for a second. It's just an automatic kind of like reaction. Yeah, even though you're not that. But I can imagine if someone was heavily invested in it to the point that like it's something that like they love. It must be very distressing, man, losing.
Big up, Red.
Oh, big up, Red.
Big up Orange.
Am I on? What do you mean, big up Orange?
Big up Green, man. Big up Green.
But I don't know what they would have done if they won though, because I was going shops here and there's random people were just like when I was buying stuff. Oh, you watching that match tonight, mate? And I was like, I haven't watched football in like 10 years. It's just like people were chit chatting. I think if they won, it would have been they would have been speaking about football for like a year, and I would have been sick and tired of it, to be honest.
Domestic violence is expected to increase 30% tonight.
Oh man, that's messed up. Hopefully they don't.
I don't know if that's a true. Oh, look at that bloody Born Rex. That bloody squirrel.
Jeez! Come on, Born.
He's literally like a real life squirrel biting on the toes of us English fans, nibbling us, tormenting us. Yeah, but the thing is, I think different teams. I don't really hate Italy as a team. Like, if they win, I'm like, all right, whatever. But there are certain teams that when they win, you just hate them, like France and Germany. Like, I think there's more kind of animosity towards those particular countries than thingy, man. Yeah. Are people watching it in the States, or they don't really care?
They don't really care.
Nah, nobody gives a fuck about that.
So many people like in Little Italy, they're actually like watching the TV.
Yeah, probably.
Well, you've got your World Cup of football in it, where there's only America playing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the world. What is it called?
They're crap, though.
No, hold on, Ozzy. What is it called? Your world. What is it called?
You said
NFL.
American
What
World
is it?
Baseball or World.
American
What's the
soccer.
NFL finals called?
The Super
No,
Bowl.
you know what you're the Super Bowl. Is it? You
Super
call it a
Bowl,
World
yeah, that's
Championship.
in
World
February.
Series. The World Series.
The World
is
Series.
Baseball. It's baseball, Ross.
That's
World-
baseball.
World
World
Series
Series
is
is
baseball.
baseball.
Major League Baseball, right? MLB,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So
That's
who's
the
involved in the
yeah.
World Series of Major League Baseball?
Somebody from the national team and from somebody from the American League, right?
Yeah,
American
yeah.
League and National League. Yeah,
it's really not the world, but
It's not though. Only in our own American.
Think
national,
about the
yeah.
nerve and the arrogance, like to say to yourself, I'm gonna say this is the world, and I don't give a shit what you think, This is
Yep.
the world when it comes to this, and I don't think any other country could get away with that bullshit.
America. That's America for you, man.
And the football thing is about changing the name to soccer because you don't like the fact that you call football
Yeah, because
football.
we want our own football. And we
Yeah.
play with our hands. We want our own football that we play with our hands, Raj. That's how arrogant we
You
are.
know, are padded up like you're going to a freaking a lingerie show. So,
Yeah,
like,
stop
calm
playing.
down, man.
No,
Like-
don't play Raj now.
Dude,
Come on.
better
look,
be.
no
You
offense
better
here.
be.
Look, no offense here. They're very I've seen American football, it looks tough. But compared to rugby, rugby have no freaking protection, and they're doing the same thing.
I don't like rugby. I don't.
You
wanna
guys
watch
are going in like you're going into like war. Like you've got your helmets
That's what
on,
it is,
freaking
yeah.
body armor.
Yes, this is Sparta. This is Sparta.
Yeah, but when you have 250 pounds of balling propelled speed running at you, like you better have some kind of padding on, man.
Yeah, I mean, on a serious note, I've seen some documentaries about the brain damage that has actually occurred to American footballers, especially. Like I think there was a famous case of a guy killing 2 people, and when they examined his brain, and he was an American football player, his brain literally was decimated from all
Darren
the
Hernandez.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think that's 2 different people, I think I've watched.
Yeah,
I know the documentary you're talking about, but Aaron Hernandez had a similar concussion issue that led to him being a mass shooter. But I just want to say murderer. Jen, this is your
Yes?
day to celebrate. I know that you're Italian. I
Big
do
up
want to
Paisano.
make a bit. I do want to big up the whole panel because obviously everybody on the panel is cool. Big up all the safe people on the panel and all that. I did want to make a sarcastic remark, if you don't mind. since you've won.
Man, go
And
through, man. Go
my
through.
sarcastic remark, which you're probably not going to find funny, is I find it ironic that one of your players stepped on Jack Grealish's knee, yeah, as punishment for taking the knee for Black Lives Matter.
Oh, racist.
Wait, what?
I'm being
God,
silly.
one minute,
I'm
that
being
takes the shine
immature.
off
I
that.
didn't
being
actually
immature.
watch the match. So
Look
I
at Bourne
don't.
Rich now. Look at Bourne Rich now. He's like, do I
Uh-oh.
support Italy now?
He's
You
like,
see what
let me
they've done?
take that shirt off.
Take that shirt off, man. Take
I
that
ain't
shirt off.
taking it off. I ain't taking it off, Raj, man.
Yeah, look what they did, man. Now you're supporting a racist team.
Nah, do you know what? They're just a
Them
bit.
black
They're
players,
just a
Raj.
bit. They're a bit rough. Let's put it that way. I was being silly, everyone. Don't judge me. Being silly and sarcastic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look, to be honest with you, like, you know, when it comes to the penalties, like, as soon as I heard penalties, I just consigned to that they're going to lose. I was like, all right, it's going to happen, man. Because penalties are always their weak point. So there's never, I don't think they've ever won any penalties.
Only the white players scored the penalties.
Oh,
God.
See, that's
Oh,
what
I tried to take it off
Oh
that
my
note. I
God.
tried to take it off the note, and you put it back on that note.
All right, now, hold on. That's what I don't like, Red. I don't like that they ran out the black players to take the blame if they lost, man. Don't run out.
Do you know
the black.
what? I'm gonna listen to what you lot say about it. I'm not gonna say anything straight away.
That's
I'm
why I'm
gonna
glad
listen
there's
to
no
what you
Asian players in there.
What?
Because they'd get it.
It goes to show you, right? It's a racist team in it. Like, it's a racist team in it.
Yeah,
No, I don't- look,
there's very little Asian players in the
Look,
Premier
I'm not
League.
going to deny that I'm not going to deny that I've not seen issues around race, because I'll be lying. I'll be chatting a lot of rubbish. But I think in this moment of history, if you're from London, if you're from England, and you're in Wembley, regardless of the colour of your skin, and you play for another team, whether it's Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Crystal Palace, wherever the hell that team is, I think in that moment of time, you do need to wear your England cap, and you do need to have your eye on the ball, like literally, just like the Italian team did. They had 60% possession of the ball in London, in England. So like, maybe I'm being a bit, fairy tale, because I do like to kind of have football fantasies of, yeah, this is how it would go, and I can control it in my head. And sometimes in the game of football, you have no control. It is what it is, isn't it? But ideally, in my little fantasy football world, because it was a London, the game was played in Wembley, I would have just been giving it my all. I would have hoped the whole squad, no matter what colour your skin is, you would have just been going crazy, like, yeah, man, this is my stage. But obviously, you didn't see
but
that.
if they won, we never would have heard the end of it.
You got a point.
Like,
Of course, you got a point.
It would have been going. I mean, 1966 they still talk about. Like, it would have gone on forever. I would have been sick and tired of it. But it would have been nice. It would have been a nice kind of like, enter coronavirus and stuff like that. But what can you do, man? It's
Now, Mr. Elio, I know you can say that, like, you know what I'm saying, hindsight is 2020, right? But like me and Red Goldenchild was talking about, could that be they were stressed and more nervous because of the age and the experience? Because those black kids were young. Those were young black kids out there.
Oh, they're being look. If you look at the normally, in the UK, they've got these kind of list of the worst penalty shootouts, yeah, and they're all white. Like, so this is just like youngsters who, I think they were younger guys. So it's just nerves, isn't it, man? It's like one of the biggest games in your life, and you're gonna miss the other players. I think were a bit older.
That's the irony. That's the irony, Raj. Because ironically, we have advertised in, you're getting old, you're getting older. The young ones are coming to take over, faster, younger, better. And the Italian squad was like from that early 30s to late 30s. It's not.
No way. That's
But
insane.
Southgate, he subbed players on with like 20 seconds left in the whole match. Like, why would you do that? Like, Marcus Rashford, he put him on like with hardly any time left. But that goalie for England, he produced an incredible save at the end of the penalty shootout. Fantastic job. It's just that the England players missed their penalties.
Yeah, but he's no David Seaman. Let's not get it twisted here, yeah? He's short, dumpy. He's got a Stephen... What's that guy from Boyzone? Or Ronan Keaton's dead friend. He's got that type of hairstyle, Backstreet Boys hairstyle. Like
Keaton's dead friend.
he just wasn't on point tonight. And I'm like, for me, I compare it to like a celebrity like Beyonce, yeah, or Jay-Z. When they go on stage on the Run tour and Beyonce, the lights come on before she even sings in the mic or says "Welcome London," everyone's like, "Yeah!" and she's walking across the stage like she owns it, innit? This is Wembley, fam. She's even sung there. These young people, I don't care how inexperienced they are, they should have let the Holy Spirit take them and just been like, yes, I am the best. I'm in Wembley. And I just didn't get that vibe. I just didn't get that kind of energy. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was expecting the energy because of all the hype.
So you wanted them to get possessed by the kind of holy,
Yeah. He wanted Raj. But the ancestors told him. The ancestors told him this is not your real home. So
the F-Nats are gonna run with that one now, aren't they? They say, Bone Rich confirmed. They did it despite the UK. They'll have their day one day, man. But I thought they would have used the more experienced people for penalties because it's not about age, is it? Penalties?
Do you know what they should actually invite David Beckham to actually take one of the penalties?
Oh
Understand.
God, yeah, he was in the stand, innit?
Is he retired? Is Beckham
He's retired. He's telling a joke. That has to be a joke.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny, that joke. Kind of funny.
Yeah.
But his son soon come. I think his name's Brooklyn. Brooklyn's about. Don't worry.
And
he's playing
around the
football.
corner.
in America,
Brooklyn's good. Yeah.
He's good, is he?
Yeah, man. He can play football
What do
and
you say?
tennis.
In America, what?
no, I was just saying America soon come too. We got David Beckham academies popping up in America, so be on the lookout,
okay.
Jen. Be on the lookout, Jen. I may have
What you just said when we enter the World Cup, it's Dunzo.
yeah, it's how we coming. We putting money
It's
in
Dunzo.
soccer now,
Okay.
man.
Man, yeah, that's probably one thing y'all
You've
don't
been
want
in the
the
World Cup for
Americans.
ages, but you haven't won.
Yeah, because we don't take it serious.
You take the women's one seriously, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, their women are hard. Their women are good. I'm not gonna deny that.
Have you seen?
So do we always play in the World Cup, America, or
Yeah, if they qualify,
finals or something?
Do you know what? The last time I saw them was like in 2006.
No, I think they were in the last. I remember seeing the last one. It's
No,
you have
I'm
to
not gonna
qualify,
lie.
don't you? So India never makes it to the World Cup.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
And I remember
Neither does
Dempsey was playing.
Pakistan or
Dempsey was
Bangladesh. I don't know why. None of them ever make it to the finals.
playing.
They always get kicked out. I don't even know if India even. I need to double check if India's ever got anywhere where it comes to football, man. In the World Cup.
Big up, Sosa.
Yeah.
Do you know for some reason, like every bank holiday? Do you know for some reason, like every bank holiday, in the UK, I always used to watch England's women's football. That. Or
Oh, you saucy
Arsenal
boy.
football. No, it was like a bank holiday and all that. So I just.
Do you know what I respect about the women football players, Arsenal ladies and the England ladies, is they
They're
don't
good.
do all of this flipping foul, ugly, slide tackling, yeah, and they actually like pass the ball long crosses better than the men, and that's what frustrates me when I'm watching the men play football because their egos and their testosterone kick in, and then it's like it kind of derails the whole setup of the goal. Whereas the women they got that shit on lock. They're like, yes, pass it to me, girl, I'll pass it to her, and we pass it together, and we're gonna score. And it's like you just get the
do you know
goal.
what it is? Yeah, it's like because they've been brooming and stuff for a long time. So it's a bit like kicking a ball, isn't it? When you're brooming with the thing, dribbling down and putting the broom at the thing and trying to score into a bin. So Jen, that's why women are good
That's a
at
bit
this kind of stuff.
sexist, man. That's a bit sexist.
I heard you say the black people need to hide in Wembley after you lost. What was that about? I think she said that. It's sad. What can I say, man? What are you saying, Ozzy? You've been on these panels a lot recently. What happens?
Yeah, for some reason, it's just a way for me to actually, to relax and all that.
Get girls.
Pardon?
He's chatting up Sosa.
I thought you were going to say it's just a way to get girls.
No, it's just a way for me to actually take a break from my dissertation and all that.
How's it going, your dissertation?
Ozzy, I'm
It's
going to
going
give you the
actually good.
best advice that you've ever taken in your entire life right now. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Do not chat to girls online.
I never do that. Why?
Thank you, smart voice.
And if you do,
Yeah.
make sure that you don't say anything that could be used in evidence against you. Have you seen that?
Make sure you don't send any
Dude,
pictures.
There we
I
go.
know.
No dick pics, Ozzy.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
please let-
pictures,
No, I don't
please,
do that.
Ozzy. Allow it, Lozzy,
No.
allow it.
I'm not that desperate. No.
All right,
Dude,
all right.
can I share something?
Yeah.
I won't say where I got this from, but have a look at this. Yeah, like I got this a little. Show this. So this is a message from Sophia Lewis that used to be Sophia Lewis. What's this a year ago? What's this about Asif sending you pics? You know, like naked, one of him. And then Sia went, speak to him. I'm free from that. I told him to stop ages ago. It stopped. Oh God. Little Asif, that little
Wow,
hermaphrodite, yeah, he's sending
Asif.
his little lulla pics all over the place.
Oh my
Ah.
goodness.
Poor little
Probably only,
Asif.
it's probably,
See,
it's probably
Ozzy,
only,
this is prime
Yeah.
example. Like
it's
you,
probably,
it will.
yeah, it's probably
The
only 5
karma's
inches.
too
Isn't it?
strong, Bren. Like it's too
It's
strong.
probably-
You can't
it's
stop
probably-
it.
Yeah.
Sorry. What?
Look at this.
Who was sending a pic to who?
So let me read it again. So this is from Sophia Lewis, yeah. Remember Sophia Lewis? She goes, "What's this about Asif sending you the?" So Asif, that little hermaphrodite that loves Sia. What's this about Asif sending you the pics? You know, the naked one of him. So she's
Yeah.
saying, "Why is he sending naked?" Sia goes, "Speak to him about it. I'm free from that. I told him to stop ages ago. It stopped." So at some point, that little hermaphrodite was sending naked pics to Sia.
Oh my god.
I've met that little bitch in real life,
Why
haven't I?
do
I've met
people
him.
do shit
Yeah.
like that? It's so fucking dumb, man.
Did she give an estimation? Did she give like an estimation of it? Like,
Oh yeah, no.
I
When she
mean-
didn't write nothing, that means less than zero. It means that there's nothing there. Yeah. When I saw this, I was like, "Whoa!" I knew it because he's in love with Sia, isn't it? I've always
Oh,
said he's in
yeah.
love with Sia.
Yeah,
He'll do
it's
anything
bad.
for
Like
her.
it's so
It's
evident.
bad.
Yeah. He'll
And do you
jump
know
off
what?
the
Do you
cliff,
know what?
man.
Sia doesn't respect simps. That's what I realized about her.
yeah.
She doesn't respect them. She thinks that he's a little, but she'll use him. So this little
Yeah,
ass, I've met him in
for
real life.
gossip.
He's a bitch in real life as well. I've met him. Me and Ards,
Is he short?
he's around 5'9", 5'10". I got a photo of him. The thing about
Oh.
him, he is a real life woman in real life as well. Yeah, he's a bitch of the highest order. I didn't know it was him until I think around 6 months ago, because I heard his voice. Because me and Ards, me and Ards used to do that what's called a Punjab series. Yeah, Punjab
like,
series. Actually, let me play. Let me just show you, because the thing is, I'm not going to play his I'm not going to play his face here, but let me just show you to prove that he was at Speaker's Corner with us, me and Ards. Because we start talking about what's it called? Let me just find out. Let me just see if I can find it. Give me a minute. Where is it?
Take your time. I heard Why So Religious camera popped on. Is that true?
Yeah, he looks like a gangster.
Yeah, he showed his face on a reactionary stream, Born Rich. He just looks like a normal white dude, like a tall blonde, like white dude, like a kind of, I don't know, he doesn't seem like a small guy. Like he's
Nah,
kind
he
of
looks
like a
big,
big
man.
dude. Yeah, like
I was shocked.
yeah.
Well, is he a short guy or a small guy?
Nah, he's big. He's
He's not
man.
short at all. Like
So he's 6'2", right?
I don't know how
something
tall,
like
but
that. Yeah, something.
But
He's not a small dude.
he's not tight. I mean, you'd think that he'd be some nerdy kind of
Fuck,
four-eyed
man.
little nerd, but he's not. He looks like a freaking dude.
So,
Why do
It does sound really nerd.
Oh no, I
Sounds nerd.
consider myself to be a nerd as well. I consider myself to be a
Yeah,
nerd. As
big
well.
up to nerds, man.
But it's
Nothing
kind of
wrong with being a nerd.
yeah. Big up to the nerds. Man. We run things around there. But the thing is, like, I was assuming that he wouldn't be looking. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting him to look like, but not like that. He's actually a big, bulky dude, man.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't expecting it.
Let me find this thing here.
Oh my god.
Can't find it now. So, what do you think, reactionary, of your mate Asif talking to your Muslim sister like this? Huh?
Reactionary's done with the fitna, man.
It's possibly fabricated emails. Yeah.
Sia Live is being modded. Yeah, so you can see here. And look, let me read it again. What's this about Asif sending you the picture, like the naked one of him? Speak to him, Sia said, about it. I'm free from this. And I told him to stop ages ago. It stopped.
For some reason, it's considered to be like a criminal offense,
No, it's not.
In the UK.
No, it's a criminal offense. Revenge
What's the
porn
crime?
is when you now take those pictures
That's
and
indecent
send it to
images.
other people. Revenge porn is a criminal offense.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
two
in the UK,
adults
yeah.
sending each other pictures and stuff. Like, if he wants to send his little todger, his little hermaphrodite body to her naked,
Yeah.
could you imagine it? I reckon, remember Silence of the Lambs when that guy at the end puts his todger between his legs here? I can already imagine him doing that and then photographing himself and sending it.
Ozzy, you're right about, like, for example, if somebody stands in the window while the bus is going past and they expose themselves, yeah, you're right. There is a law against it. I can't remember what it's called.
Indecent
exposure, maybe.
Yeah, flash it.
Yeah.
Flashing shit. Yeah.
For some reason, I heard it's popular. Like, I'm
No, Jen, he's got a point. He's got a point. I wake up, I open up my door and my curtains. But
stop it, man.
God damn it, Rich.
Don't say that.
Good morning.
But what happens if you live in one of them high-rise apartments?
There is a case of a barrister. There was a barrister who was riding on the train near London, or in London, actually.
Yeah.
And he, unzipped his pants and exposed his penis to another female passenger. But she took pictures and she got him charged.
What's a barrister?
He had to resign.
A judge.
Imagine going to the police station like that. Excuse me.
No, the reason
It's like an attorney.
Do you think if she found her, if she found him attractive, do you think she would report him to the police? I'm just saying.
That's a good question.
You're nasty.
It's a good question, right, Ozzy?
No, because that is just turning it into a nasty situation.
If you think about it, it could be, if she liked him, that means that could be like one of those like intro of a brother.
It's like, look, if Asif sends Sia a naked pic of himself, that's offensive. Yeah, it's like harassment. But Sia might find somebody else attractive and be a man, and if he sent the same picture, she may not find it as offensive. Understand? Depends on the individual. Yeah.
But what happens if you're in one of them apartments that's got a window in front of your window? Because in London, there's a lot of those kind of bedrooms facing each other scenarios. So I don't think it's illegal in that situation, because kind of impossible to kind of...
Well, it would be if you're hanging out the window or something.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying
curtains, you need curtains, right?
Yeah, but if you just move in and you're getting changed, and the other apartment is like the way they've engineered a lot of these apartments, the new ones with the balconies as well. It's impossible not to see anything. This is just totally impossible.
To be fair, if I was living by myself here, I would probably get changed in the hallway or in the bathroom.
Why don't you put a curtain up? Why don't you put a curtain up?
Because unless you've got Amazon Prime and you can order it within an hour, I guess that's what they do, these posh people. But I'm sure a lot of posh people don't have curtains. I've noticed.
Why do you do Mr. Bean style? Like put your pants over your clothes and then take off. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you put the pants on top and then you take the clothes off from underneath. Has that ever happened to you?
Crazy.
No. My house is not like that.
Or when he tried to get a TV signal in the room by putting his clothes in the chair.
Yeah, peeping toms and all that kind of stuff, man. But you end up the problem is the people that walk around naked in front of their windows are normally the worst looking people. It's not like you get anyone nice. It's normally the
J-Lo did it in her music video. I'm Still Jenny from the Block. She was in her apartment building and someone was filming her at the beginning. and then she was laughing in the chair with her knickers and her bra, and then she starts dancing in the streets saying South Bronx. So that's where I came. Yeah, that's where the idea. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's what you would want to happen, but in reality, it would be like a 70-year-old woman with everything sad.
What?
And overweight. That's what would probably happen. That's just the way life is, isn't it? It's a bit like the nudist beaches. Yeah, people think like, oh, the nudist beach. And I remember there was a documentary, and they were going. Everyone's just fat and weird and old, and you just don't want to see them. Yeah. It's like
you know what? Yeah,
it's like a retirement thing or something.
actually-
like people who
yeah,
retire want to go like explore the things they never got to in their life, and it ends up being like a bunch of 60-year-old people. Like, ew, nasty.
Actually, there are actually people that are in 20s.
brush it, man.
Well, for some reason, yeah, if I actually went to the beach and all that, I'll probably be the fittest person there.
Huh? You?
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah. Trust me.
How
Yeah.
come?
Okay.
I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing.
You'd be the
So what's
fittest
going to
person.
happen tomorrow? What's going to happen on Monday morning? Are people going to phone in sick with a hangover?
Probably.
Are people going to
They're
go
all
to
going to
work?
be eating lasagna leftovers. You get me?
I'll retract my statement about the new beach and all that.
Italy won the World Cup.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the World Cup. I think it's the Euros. It's
I
the
love
Euros.
it,
The
man.
World Cup.
Wait, what was it? It wasn't the World Cup. What
No,
was
the
it?
World Cup's
the
next
Euros,
year.
the Euros.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Euros. Come on, man. Chill out.
Oh, it was the Euros.
Raj, you
I'm
see,
sorry.
Yeah, but we don't care,
It's an
Brexit.
anti-Brexit conspiracy against England.
It could have been. You don't know, man. Could have been. Maybe
It's our
that's
Of
karma.
course it was. They had the highest. They had the highest COVID rate in Europe when it first kicked off. They
Yeah,
probably
Italy
brought
was
it
getting
over here.
smashed.
Imagine if they brought it over here and gave it to and gave it to everybody and then flew back.
And all this
There is a-
time, you guys
there
were
is a-
blaming the Chinese. Imagine that.
There
That's
is a
fucked
lot
up.
of this like hatred for the UK for leaving the EU. So you never know. There could have been a conspiracy to kind of like shaft them.
Goodbye,
know.
EU. Goodbye.
Goodbye, EU. Goodbye. That's like that song from that guy. What's that? What's his name?
Alright, whatever.
You know what that what's that Indian boy.
Did Italy win the Eurovision Song Contest as well, or is that just the Euro footballs? Anyone know?
Oh, they're winning everything, are they?
Do you know what's going to be sad? Is someone's going to turn around and say, my wife or my husband died to go to that stadium. We did the track and trace. We took the vaccine and then they died because England lost. Someone's going to come out with that story.
Yeah. Do you know what?
You're not
yeah, for
supposed
some
to
reason-
laugh.
Oh yeah, they were trying to give away they were giving away free tickets to people who would take the vaccine. How
Yeah, I
fucked
saw
up is
that.
that?
I saw that.
That's straight crazy propaganda right there. What?
Do you know
Yeah,
what?
I was
it
in
kind
the-
of it kind of reminds me of the like last year. I think a couple months ago, there during Donald Trump's presidency, there was a guy. I think he was like a politician. His name is Herman Cain. He went to a Trump rally. He got COVID and he died. And he thought the COVID thing was a what do you call it was a false conspiracy and all that. But for some reason I laughed because he actually believed it was a false it was a made up thing and all that.
Yeah, I was in the
But
pharmacy
even though it's a
today.
serious situation, I just had to laugh and all that. I don't know
I was
why,
gonna
but
No.
when it comes
I was
to
in a-
serious situation, I just have to laugh.
Can you do me a favor, Jen Wallace? Can you just play? This is COE, so you won't get a strike. Can you just quickly share the screen for a second? I just want to prove one thing here.
Gotcha.
So this is me, obviously a lot fatter. This is Imran. This
That's
is Ard.
Imran. They got
Imran,
men
this
like
is Ard.
Imran, you know.
Listen to this voice. Listen.
You name one community. You name one community out of your whole community that is hardcore, yeah. So whereas in our community, I can name you all of them are fight. The rest of your
very similar.
That's
all these
man never seen no hardcore Gujaratis anyway. I mean, I tell you,
There's not many of us, bro, but trust me.
Yeah.
Like,
So anyway, but generally, so even now, listen.
Look who's in the background.
You said Gujarati.
Asif, that little pussy. Now I remember who he is, little bitch.
Yeah, that
You know,
voice
one
is
of my friends at
distinct. There's no way to
university,
get around
he's
that
from,
voice.
Who's Gujarati
I
as well.
remember. I remember talking to him. I remember talking to him. It was me, Imran. Imran's in the chat, and it was Arj, yeah, and we was cussing at Gujarat. Sorry, you know, like the Punjabis cuss Gujarat a lot. Unfortunately, it's a bit like because the Gujarat.
That's a province, right, in India.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Gujaratis are very kind of hard-working, prosperous people, but they're pussies, yeah, in the sense of fighting, yeah. No offense to them. So the Punjabis are much more louder. So we always kind of we're just taking the mick out of them, yeah. And then little old Asif with his estrogen jumped in. Yeah, you know, I saw roadmen around here. I know someone who went prison. I know someone who went prison. I'm sending my little lulla pics to see her. In the background. Now I remember him now. I remember him now.
That'd be funny if she gave an estimation of it. Like.
Oh God.
Ozzy, you want to know, don't you? Want to know? You want to size men up, right? You know what I'm saying?
No. It'll be
I
funny,
see how
like,
you did.
it's just funny, isn't it? Like,
trying to see how alpha you can act around dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the thing is that but I'm assuming that, you know, like when it's a man that's an hermaphrodite, there's nothing down there. So what is she gonna judge, man? Poor Sia getting. Imagine Sia's bad luck here. She's getting messages of naked pictures from Asif. Like, if that isn't like, you know, one of the worst things to experience, so we're gonna give Sia a bit of like, you know, a little bit of kind of sympathy for that, man.
She probably got traumatized.
Yeah, of course, man. Especially with that voice.
You
and
have
that
to wonder though, like, okay, I'm gonna say, like, sometimes you will get, like, as a girl, right, you will get the complete out of nowhere, like, completely unsolicited picture, right, that you never wanted to see, yeah. But more times guys will send it to you because they think that you're interested in them. You know what I'm saying? So like most of the time guys they don't just do that. Like they have a reason to think that you want to see that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you have to lead someone on.
Okay. You're making me want to ask more questions, but I'd better be not asked.
This is like
Go for it, man. Go for it. That's yeah, I'm telling you, like, being a girl online is not freaking easy all the time, man. Like, guys are wild. Y'all are actually wild. For real.
It's a trap. It's a trap. No one's saying nothing. Ozzy, don't say nothing. It will be used against you later in court, unfortunately, if you say anything. Who's this one that's got Italy? It's coming home.
What's
that?
Imran.
Oh yeah.
He's just and trolling tonight.
What was this thing about? I heard Jupiter won again on your panel again about something. She's having a lot of wins. Is that true, or is it just propaganda? I think someone said that she went on to Born Rich's panel and she had another win again.
Yeah,
oh, did she? Okay.
I don't know.
She did last night.
All right. About what?
What happened?
It's a white guy who takes something to make his skin black, and now he's fighting against white supremacy for his people. His people is black people.
Oh, he takes melatonin tablets. He takes those melatonin tablets.
Where's the link to that? Can I say?
He said, "Where's the link?" It's on my.
Like Rachel Dolezal. He's like a
man. He's the man version. He's the man version.
He's like Sean King. He's like Sean King.
No, Sean King don't take the melatonin tablets. There's these tablets called melatonin.
What's his name? What's his name?
I don't know.
Fuck, hold on, man.
But I'll tell you about the tablets. I know about them.
Nuka, Nuka, Zeus.
Did you just say nigger? Do you know that's offensive? No, I'm joking.
Oh my god! What? It doesn't look. Oh my! What is he doing? It doesn't even look. I don't know. It looks weird, man.
Yeah, he's trolling.
Yeah, but Raj, have you heard about them tablets? That's what I wanted to ask you. If you've heard about them tablets.
The melanin tablets.
I've heard about the ones that make you lighter, like Ralpishes.
No, this is the opposite.
Okay, all right. This looks a bit. Why? So was he born? What? I'd like to see what he looked like before, though, because it's hard to judge from this.
No, he's born rich. No, I'm joking. He was born white. Black.
Oh,
no, white. I'm playing.
Oh, well, the thing is, yeah, like, why is he doing it? Is he doing it because I don't know.
As a black man, I think he's trolling. To be honest, right? Like I can't. It's no like even.
It can be racist though in a way, isn't it? There's a blackface thing in it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
racist.
exactly.
He could have body
Making a mockery.
dysmorphia, though. He could be body dysmorphic, which means he's basically idolizing another body and
Yes, no,
trying
that's
to
what
be
that
that.
was the main conversation. That was the main conversation, Red. Like, how can you
Oh.
say you're against the LGBTQ, but you're doing exactly what they're doing? You said, "Hey, I was raised around black people. I looked in a mirror and felt like I should be black." And you that's exactly what the LGBT does.
Jen, share this so people
Yeah,
have a reference.
share the screen for him, Jen. Like it was weird. I thought it wasn't really him. I still don't know if it's really him, but that's
Wow.
No way.
Well, the thing is,
So-
I watched the documentary on Rachel Dolezal on Netflix. And
I mean,
prior to
that guy went from Brad to Tyrone, right?
Now, prior to watching the
It
documentary,
looks like a whole different dude, though.
yeah,
What?
I don't know if the last one is actually what he looks like now. It's hard to tell because I've
it. Nah,
seen.
it's more in the middle. He looks more
More in
like
the
the middle one now.
Yeah,
The third one looks like lighting. That looks like
Yeah.
lighting to me. Now.
Looks like
See,
David
that's
Hayter.
what I
It looks
don't
like
get.
David
Like,
Hayter.
I don't get why people
Nah.
Looks like
feel
David
like
Hayter
they
in the
have to
middle.
do all that. Like
He don't
they're
look like
doing
David
too
Hayter.
much.
Yeah, it's not the Rachel Dolezal. Yeah, it's like she
Yeah,
could have
he's,
helped.
he's trolling.
She
That's
could have
it.
helped. She could have helped the black community in so many ways. But instead,
Yeah,
what
but
she
she
done,
took
she
the
turned
piss.
herself black, and she freaking well done that. I mean, it's like
It's crazy you said that, Rob.
No, she
because
didn't
that's
just
what I
make
told him.
herself black. She worked for the NAPCC,
Yeah,
the National
yeah.
Association of Colored People.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
Red,
that's the bit where
I know,
you know what I mean.
I know, Red. So
They're
Red,
doing her
this is what I
makeup and
want-
her hair.
That guy at the end, yeah, you know the darker the picture. It looks like as if he got sunburned in South Florida.
oh
No,
god,
that looks like that just looks like he's got Marmite and rubbed it on his
Yeah, it
face.
just looks stupid. It looks stupid. We can call it whatever we want to. It looks fucking stupid. And that's what I told him. You can help us by really just being a white boy. If you want to help black people, cut your fucking hair and be a white boy, and we'll tell you how you can help us. But right now, you're making a mockery, and you don't want to help black people at all.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I think
saying. He's
Ray-
taking the piss.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
There's
Rachel
a
Dolezal.
subculture. There is a subculture in England of
Yeah.
lads that wanna be a bit like. Even on the England team, we got one that he might not be dyeing his skin, but he's definitely down with the grime and the hip hops and the reggae sauce. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a type.
yeah.
That's a lifestyle music, right?
No,
That's-
it's not
that's-
just a
that's too
lifestyle.
extreme. That's too extreme,
It's
though,
not.
isn't it?
It's not just a lifestyle. Do you know what body dysmorphia is? Body dysmorphia is like a woman who's a size 16, imagining she's a size 0, going to the shop and buying a pair of size 0 clothes, going home knowing she can't fit into them, and then sitting down and crying, and then going and repeating the same thing. But instead of it being women with like maybe who might be flat chested buying a Wonder Bra or whatnot, you got dudes that sit at home and watch grime videos, hip hop videos, basketball all day long, and they don't know their father, and they cry about it, and then they go and get a do rag, or they might fantasize about having a black friend or a mixed friend, and just like convince themselves that they're cousins, or convince themselves that they've got a black auntie. Oh, that's been going on for decades.
That's
That's
kind
been
of
going on for decades. And there's people that do it.
I don't want to say I've heard people act like there's some people here like I don't understand why people are not comfortable in their own kind of cultural skin, and so they want to kind of like you know latch onto somebody else's culture and stuff like that and try and make it their own. I don't really get it. I'm not saying it's a bad, but this is a bad thing doing it like this. And you know what you didn't realize? Look, he's a ginger.
Gingerbread man.
He's a ginger.
Yeah, and a lot of ginger dudes do flex. Like Harry's ginger.
Why is it always the ginger ones that seem like they always go extreme with shit? Like,
Because they got no
They get
souls.
it. Whoa. Nah, do you know what it is?
That's from South Park. That's
yeah,
the
it's
joke.
from Cartman.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
No, what it is they have to deal with prejudice on the next level because, like, they don't have the blonde
I don't want
hair.
it to be
They
too
don't have the,
crazy.
you know what I mean? They don't like. They don't have the favorite features of Eurocentric beauty. If that puts it.
And it's
that
one
way.
of the
Yeah,
one of the
yeah.
things that you can still make fun of, like without feeling guilty. The gingers.
You know, to be fair,
seriously.
to be fair, like ginger women, they're good looking, aren't they?
That's what I'm saying. So the ginger women have like
Some
a
of
fetish
them.
for ginger women, but the men are reviled as like gingers. So they have.
I
this
don't know
kind of-
when they're
Was it
like
Rick
real
Astley ginger?
pink and they got the like all kinds of freckles and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Some
Rick
guys look
Astley
kind of gross.
an
Like
outlier, isn't it? He's an outlier.
Oh my god.
Have you ever seen a
Well-
ginger dude in real life? When I go Speaker's Corner and I see all these ginger converts, oh my god, like it's unbelievable.
why am I being racist? Let man on. Who is that? Gray Dunya? Yeah, bro.
I don't let that little
Grey
cookie
area,
bar.
didn't it? Grey area.
Trying to
grey area.
freaking porn bomb me, bro. I'm not
Nah, don't
dealing with
let
that
him. It's gonna
bullshit,
it'll
man.
ruin the conversation. That put do that.
It's a grey area,
He's gonna
didn't it?
come on and start yelling. Like,
He'll
come
start-
on, man. We're
Oh, you
past
know, I'm
that.
from the road, you know. I'm from the road. My name's Grey Dunya. I'm from the road, you know.
But
Take
what's the
take
difference
I'm
between?
on the road.
I want to find out the difference between someone outwardly expressing their body dysmorphia to someone subtly having like that kind of mindset of, yeah, today I'm going to be Punjabi, and today, Matthew, stars in your eyes, and today, Matthew, I'm going to be Indian, so I'm going to eat curry. I mean, there's the levels to people kind of pushing away their natural heritage. I think it's in a bit of everybody. If I'm going to be honest, like I do. I think it's in a bit of everybody because we're all trying to be Eurocentric in a certain way, or we're all trying to fit into an Americanized or European kind of
I don't
cookie
know,
cutter.
man.
You know
Like,
what?
I
Yeah,
don't
for
think
some
so.
reason,
Like, I feel like yes, well, like maybe Europeans have like kind of inundated the beauty industry and blah 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 and marketing and whatever like that. But as humans, right? Like, we tend to always want the opposite of what we have, right? So if we have straight hair, like, oh, I wish I had curly hair. If you have curly hair, oh, I wish I had straight hair. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're white, like, oh, I wish I was a little bit more tanner. So I think that's kind of, I don't think it's body dysmorphia.
can I
I
ask
think
you-
it's just natural, like humans not being happy
say-
with who they are.
So can I ask you this? I mean, I played this video on Vellies and it didn't get a strike here, so I'm hopefully it won't get a strike here if you allow me to play. But this is a black guy from London, and he's like, look, if can I play it to you? He's like, he kind of like is he's into Bhangra, yeah, like Asian music, yeah. So if you look,
Oh shit!
do you-
Yeah, go for it.
do you think this is culturally appropriating? Let me just, oh God's sake, what am I doing?
And you know what? Yeah, I probably think he's Punjabi in
Hold on, hold on.
Fake Punjabi.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. Where are you even from? You can't even dance on beat. Culture vulture. So much hate on the gram these days. Oh
He's gonna break out a dance.
That's Southall.
Southall, yeah. Southall.
Yeah, I like it.
Southall.
You better bust out the dance. You've got to do a dance. You've got to do a dance.
Where's he at?
Yeah. Come on. He's not on beat. He's not on beat. He's got no rhythm. Nah. And he's backing dancers.
Ripped it.
Nah. It's not authentic.
But would you say that's offensive? Him?
It's not authentic. It's not
No,
authentic.
why is that
I
offensive?
take this as a compliment, like somebody
Yeah.
from a different.
No, because if you're gonna do it, look, Michael Jackson did it in black or white videos. There's everyone forgetting now. You know what I'm saying? Dun, 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 dun. It's black.
Nobody was
It's
offended
white.
by that, right?
No, because he
nobody
did it
was
because he
offended.
did it in he had Indian backing dancers, and then he switched from that to the African dancing team with the Lions. Then he switched from that to the Russian dancing team in a
Wasn't
fake.
that Remember the
compete-
Time? Was that
No,
Remember?
that was
no,
Black
the
or
faces,
White.
The Faces, yeah, I remember.
Black
That
or
came out in
white.
91. That's a
Yeah,
song
yeah.
That
came
was
out
a
in 91.
big dance routine with dancers from all around the
And
world,
had that
and
Home
Michael
Alone
Jackson
in
killed
act
it.
in it.
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin. But when he went to India, that bit was sick because he did the hand. You got if you're gonna do big up a culture, do it right. That's my thing, innit? Do it right.
He's done. Oh, so here's one where he went India, I think. So let me just see if I can get this.
Go on.
So maybe this.
He's kind of offbeat. I'm just saying.
I'm talking about more like. Do you find it offensive? Because to me, him kind of like taking respect and like doing this. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like think it's a nice thing. But it depends.
As someone who can dance, as someone who knows how to dance, I do find it offensive if you're not going to do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. If you're going to do it right, then I'm not going to be offended. If I'm seeing
it's actually
sloppy
there's actually a white woman in this one. So.
Oh God, there we go.
But this is in India.
They're dressed
two famous Bhangra dancers. They're like. So that's to me, that's not offensive or disrespectful or anything like that. I think it's kind of like somebody's kind of taking an interest. Like it's a white. Both of those two are quite famous. Kind of like one white one, one black guy that like Bhangra music or Punjabi music, so they do dancing to it. I don't find that as culturally kind of like appropriating or disrespecting. But that other guy definitely is. Like when you're changing his color of his skin.
I think that looks like a Zumba class. So when you go to Zumba, you do exercise, dance to music. Like when I used to go gym 3 times a week, I had a Polish teacher, and she used to incorporate all cultures, including this music here, and she used to do it in a certain way, like this exercise class. Like I'm gonna just keep it to the moral of the story. The moral of the story is if you're gonna do Bhangra or Punjab, because I love the beats, I love the drums, I like the dance moves. I love it, yeah. And I'm not from India, yeah, but I love it, yeah. If you're gonna do it and it ain't looking like properly like how it's supposed to look, like a Bollywood dance routine, I'm not gonna put any respect on your name. Because there's people doing these routines on YouTube that are just like 10 out of 10, like amazing. So if you're not gonna come on that level, I'm gonna just laugh at you. That's just how I am.
But I'm in terms of the technique. Take that out of the scenario. But somebody like that guy, you can argue the guy that's darkening himself and dressing in a particular way. He's obviously taking it to a step where it's becoming offensive. Yeah, but to him, he might be thinking that he's kind of like trying to I don't know adopt somebody else's culture because he respects it, but he's disrespecting it by the way he's doing it. Like for me, the way they've done it on those ones, forget about the technique. I find that something to be quite respectful and something I think, oh, that's nice. A black guy and a white lady are interested in, Punjabi culture, music and stuff like that. I don't know what do you think, Jen?
I don't think the dancing is disrespectful at all. Like, I don't know, but the guy turning into that was disrespectful. Like, because now you're just going too far. Like, you could. By taking like cultural dances and stuff, like, I mean, come on, like people have been doing each other's cultural dances like from a long time. So
I remember the old Hollywood movies, and they used to make the Chinese, like I can't remember what movie it was, like the Chinese or like red or the Japanese, or like they used to use white actors and like put them with slanty eyes and all this real kind of over the top stereotypes and stuff like that to portray Chinese, and that's offensive. Yeah, if you're doing it. Yeah.
But also, you're leaving out the fact that one is more sexually driven. Like if your vanity purpose is to kind of darken yourself and maybe impersonate another race, like that means when you go into a dating app or you're in the real world and you're trying to, have sex, for example, then it's going to cause issues. Whereas if you're doing a dance in the park on the high street.
Can I give you a I'll give you a hypothetical. Miso's in the back chat. Imagine, someone meets that guy, not the guy that's pretending to be black, not knowing that he's born white, and then they have a kid with him, and the baby turns out pure white. that would be confusing for the person, wouldn't it? Like if they thought he was actually born that color, they'd probably start questioning whether that kid was theirs if they never told anything.
The only thing I found, all right, I didn't think there was anything offensive about the dance routine or even wearing the clothes. The possible thing that I could look at and think, I'm not sure why he did that, is wearing the turban, because the turban has a significance in Sikhi. So I'm not sure if that could be taken as an offense.
Yeah, I mean that could be to some people. Me personally, I didn't personally take an offense. But if someone said to me, "Oh, I think that was a bit too far," I wouldn't say no. Oh, Miso's here. Miso.
Is that Miso?
Yes. Big up, Jen. Big up, Raj.
How you doing, man? I apologize for last time, dude. With Atticus, apologies.
Is that Cotton
Yeah,
Socks?
man. It's not
it's me.
not your fault.
Apologies for my
disaster.
That time it was my fault.
Cotton
That time it was my fault. Yeah, that time it was my fault.
Hey, Ozzy. But so Raj, you know the dances he was doing, was that not your dances, or was it a different?
Yeah. I mean, it was. He probably mixed it up a bit with a bit more of a kind of like maybe his own style into it as well. But it is a traditional Punjabi folk dance that he's kind of modernized to the music and stuff like that. So I don't take it offensive if someone wants to do it, as long as they're respectful as to how they're doing it. Now, if he's then like, I don't know, lightening his skin or the girl was darkening her skin and trying to act Indian and all that kind of stuff, then yeah, obviously that's offensive. Then once you get to that point,
I hear you
for
out,
some
brother.
reason, I know exactly where it's been filmed in Southall. Literally.
I hear what you're saying, and I respect what Raj is saying. But if someone was doing the river dance in the wrong way, and they're doing it, and I believe they're doing it to get views and subscribers, I am gonna kind of I'm being honest with you guys, and maybe I'm wrong and judgmental, but I am gonna kind of side eye the person doing the river dance wrong, because it's an Irish dance, and I'm just gonna be like, what the hell? Just stick to doing.
Have you seen those? Have you seen those videos of white people speaking Jamaican patois?
I don't.
Really popular as well.
Man. Yeah, I don't.
Many people don't look at that as being offensive.
Actually, a lot of people do,
how it's
particularly
done,
in London.
You think so?
No, I don't enjoy that. That's not my forte. I don't enjoy that.
I personally would find that offensive.
Yeah,
But, at the end of the day, Caribbean culture is adopted by all, so everyone copies our dances and stuff. So do you feel offended by that, Red?
I'm not talking about it so in a generalized sense. I'm just looking at the video that was portrayed to us, because clearly, obviously, the Caribbean culture, that's different if you're going to compare it to the Punjab dance routine and the turban. I feel like that's a whole nother
Can you
conversation.
clear the screen for a second? Is this guy a real Jamaican, or is he mocking the Jamaicans? I can't remember, because this is a Sikh guy.
What, Yardi Chris?
No,
Who
his
are
name
you talking about
Mr. Singh Punjabi talking Jamaican Rasta Yardi. Yeah. So listen to this.
Is that the Mr. Singh from the chat?
Where was I before I was rudely interrupted by some customer who come in and what I told you is come in and walk back out, right? And what disturbed me is all them holiday that the people get. They might get Christmas. They might get the one in between Christmas and what you call it Easter. A lot of little holiday. Then they get the big holiday, what you call it, they get the summer holiday, right? Like a bomber clock jail term, that 6 months, or what you call it, something like that, man. And
So
every 2 seconds.
is he Jamaican, or is he taking the place?
If he was born in the
That was a
Caribbean, then it's
confusing
okay.
accent.
We know there's Indians in the Caribbean, so if he was born there, but if he's not, then
He started off sounding Bayesian, then he went into some confused kind of ghetto Jamaican, then he went into a Sean Paul like upper class yardie, then he went back into some bumper class like you know what I mean? He was just all over the place with it.
Because
All over the place.
I know there's some Sikhs that are from there are Sikhs in Jamaica, in the West Indies and stuff. So I don't know.
Clad, ice cream man, I come out, so the house, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, I got reach for your pocket and dash away your money, man. Go to, what you call it, Lidl or thing, buy that big tub of ice cream, man, big tub. Yeah, why, 99.
Yeah, he's mocking.
That's something that you don't see every day.
I need to find. I
But
don't know if
anyway,
I need to find out.
Jamaica is a multicultural place. I've been there. I can speak. I'm from there, innit? But like, I don't have issues with the Chinese Jamaicans, the Jewish Jamaicans, the Bengali Jamaicans, whoever's born there talking. But I do have an issue with people like searching for views and likes and subscribers, because it can come across like you're taking a piss or you're mocking somebody else. It can come across that way.
I'm going to put a little grenade in the middle of the room. Yeah, the worst people to try and culturally appropriate like Jamaican culture are Asians.
Yep.
In
It's
the
cringe.
UK. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's real bad. I've seen it.
The
so
first
much
time I
myself.
ever heard Modine, I was bugged out. I know he's probably not Asian, but Arab, right? I was like, what is this? Like, why is this guy, like this Asian guy, speaking Jamaican? Like, it had me so fucked up, honestly. Like, I
What,
think
what
I
he's
asked
speaking,
some...
Jen, is sorry, I
Road.
apologize. I didn't mean to cut you. Yeah, he's
That's
speaking
okay.
modern London English. It's the modern form of Cockney.
Yeah,
Cockney
it's
has
like
sort
the
of evolved
Ebonics
into
of
that.
London, right?
Yeah,
London English has adopted the cultures that live there, right? And
You know Ali G is basically a caricature. You know Ali G, the character? He's basically, when Sacha Baron Cohen created it, he was basing it on Asians that were pretending to be kind of like Jamaicans, yeah, and that was his kind of stereotype. So there's a lot of them about. If you go to my area, you go to my area in like Waltham Forest, I mean, they're everywhere, man. Like, you know,
I'd say it's more prevalent
true.
these days, but I think the
Yeah.
Turkish and stuff were before you guys in that sense.
If anyone's seen that clip of, you know, the chief medical officer of the UK, he was standing in London somewhere, and some boy came up to him on his bike and said, "Oh, you're that guy from the TV, isn't it?" And you waste man, started calling him you waste man and stuff. And people in the comments were all commenting about the failure of multiculturalism and why is he trying to speak black and all that. So I don't know if you've seen that video.
I've seen that.
I just wanted to just say something that there's actually it's patois. It's not Jamaican. It's patois and it's broken English. Number one, because London is a place where all of the globe come to get work. Number two, there was an artist called Apache Indian in the 90s who was an Indian brother that was doing jungle music and spitting with the black brothers and doing it. So it's not like the Indians and the blacks are people that had some kind of racial apartheid and we didn't share music or go to the same dances in the 70s or the 60s. It's just that we kind of grew into our own kind of consciousness of where we're from. But if the young people go through a phase where they go through their little London patois and then they grow up out of it and wear their suits or they carry on down that road, that's not my position to try and remix history, change it, come in campaigning against it, because it already happened before I was alive. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be black, then you can try and be black, but come to Jamaica and see if you talk like that for more than 2 minutes, you might not even come. You know what I mean? You might be shocked to come. So whatever.
So we've noticed then that a lot of Jamaican type of speaking has been adopted in England. Have any sort of Asian or Urdu words been adopted as well?
Yeah. Oh, good day. I'll go down the street and go, "Oh, good early morning. Can I have a papadum on the street?" No, but the thing is, the only words that like actually kind of like have a little bit more gravitas are the Punjabi words. Like Bengali word. No offense to Bengalis, their swear words are not like when you say a swear word in like march or banjo. I don't like saying that. Or I say fuddu and pud. There's certain words within like Punjabi that have a much more aggression. So you don't have that kind of like even Gujaratis and Bengalis and Indians, they use Punjabi words when they're cussing each other as well. Because
I've heard the youth.
I've heard
the youth in South London. I've heard some of the youth in South London now saying wallahi. Have you heard
I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot, man. Like just from like
rappers,
random
they say
people.
wallahi.
But is that
And
not
they also
disrespectful if they're doing it in a kind of like a mocking way? Is it not?
No, they're trying to say that what they're saying is serious. They're using it in the proper context.
I hear that a lot, like teenagers.
And you know what's got the biggest influence from the Indian culture? Culturally, what's got the biggest influence? Take away all the curry houses, take away all the spices from India. This country will fall flat on its face. So they don't really need to have linguistic cultural influence, but they've got a lot of seasoning. If you go to Waitrose, they've got or any
Yeah.
supermarket,
And
they've got
tea,
a full
just drinking tea.
Indian. Oh yeah, tea. But tea from Africa and South America. True.
No, I was
But
actually saying this to my.
let's keep on the curry. Chicken. Alu gobi sayak. Vegetable. Rice. Boom.
I
Yeah.
look Visag. Well done, well done. Good
Yeah,
pronunciation.
chicken tikka masala, all these things here. When you go to look, bruv, anywhere you go, bruv, forget all these little chicken shops that just popped up. If you take away the Indian food from this country, there will be no everyone. There'll be a riot. There'll be World
No,
War
I
III.
mean, when I was growing up in the 80s, like being a vegetarian and being like English was like a death sentence. Like their food was like freaking just like potatoes and chips. Like for me, some of the best Indian food is actually some of the best Indian food is vegetarian. Like saag
Yeah.
paneer, chole, dal, rice. So I've never been at meat, so it's never been a problem. But now when you go to these supermarkets, the amount of Indian food all over the place. There's a whole aisle in my Asda that's called World Foods. Like it's mainly spices and stuff from India and stuff like that.
Yeah, but they have
Yeah,
that.
we have a
they have the
tight little
Indian
section.
aisle, they have the Caribbean aisle, they have the Polish aisle.
Yeah.
Is that
And
all?
that's mostly like in London as well. When you
Yeah.
go outside London, you all have just one aisle, and they will mix it around from all around the world.
Just
Polish
one aisle.
yeah.
Yeah, all in one aisle. Do you know what I mean? But in London, you have a whole aisle just for that specific, like India, Caribbean.
I shop
just
in Marks and Spencer's, and Marks and Spencer's got a whole section of Chinese, put in the
Yeah.
oven for 25 minutes
Oh,
section,
posh
and they've
boy,
got the
posh boy.
whole Indian section. And go ask Waitrose, they got their own naan bread, they got their own curry section. Like these supermarkets know. Look, English people that go to watch the football, they'll be having curry before they have their 10 pints.
Yeah.
End of story. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, when Indians first went over, one of the things that like the English population hated was the smell of curry. Ah, you dirty! It stinks over there, mate. It stinks. Now it's their favorite dish. I'm not joking, Jen. Like, it was
They weren't
on.
used to smelling like flavors.
the problem
cooking,
is that their food was very bland in the sense of you had chicken and stuff like that. So when you go and then smell curries and spices in the beginning, one of the main complaints was it stank, like curry and stuff. That's why they have that thing. Now, that smell is now something that they like the smell of. Yeah, so you can see how things change over time when people get used to kind of being side by side. Probably the same with Italians when they went over to Italy, we went over to America. Living side by side with an indigenous kind of white people that were there.
Pizza, yeah,
Yeah,
that's Italian.
they
Yeah,
didn't-
pizza and stuff like that. They were probably mocking that in the beginning. Oh, what's this bloody stupid?
And they
flying
start putting
didn't
saucer?
pineapple on
that.
pizza.
Yeah,
And they
that's
put
just a
pineapple on it and
disgrace,
destroyed the
man.
whole thing.
Disgraciat.
But you notice online there's an adoption of words like fitna and
Yeah,
dalil.
khalas as well, khalas.
Bring your dalil, yeah.
Dalil. Yeah,
Khalil,
Dalil or no deal.
Dunya.
Yeah,
All
I
Arabic
think
words.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
speaker's corner, the Arabic words in speakers like this kind of speakers corner word is very prevalent. Like the lil and all of this kind of stuff. Yeah, definitely. You can't help it when people keep on saying something over and over again. It kind of like
Kudida,
sticks in your brain.
that's popular now as well.
Kuddo, Kanjar, and all that stuff. Imagine in like 30 years' time, they say, "Oh, why is the UK? How did all these little white kids learn Puddida and Kanjar?" And it will come back to me. It'll come back to me from these days.
They're gonna put you on a banknote, the picture of
Yeah.
you.
2066, boys.
That's not what I want to be. That's not
£50
what I want to be known for, man.
You guys are gonna get your come up in 2066.
Oh, me so.
yeah.
You know what we should have? Oh, if only Lander Kelts was here, man, we could have spoken
Oh, about the China thing.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
China thing?
Oh, we was having a
It's mad
discussion
though,
on-
Raj. On Vellies, everyone's just sitting there, just defending it. Like they're so confused. Do you know what I mean? I heard Shipper the other day, like
Yeah.
fully defend it. It's just mad because they just think like fighting evil with evil is just like they think China has the best intentions for Africa. It's just it really isn't.
Well, the thing is
It's
here, like,
soft colonization.
I mean, we can have the like a bit of a conversation about
That's a
if you
deep
want.
convo, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
exactly,
problem.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a deep, but the thing is,
And
I
it
was
has to be researched.
researching.
You know, it's not out
Yeah,
of
and
emotion.
I'll just show you one article just to prove to you how conniving China is here and how they're playing the debt. They're basically, you can conquer countries by two ways here, by war or debt. Did you know that? That's like the two main ways here. You conquer a country. Now have a look at this here. I just want to show you something because I would like to have this conversation, to be honest with you, Land of Celts, because to carry on. But have a look at this here, just to prove to you, Misa. Look. So if you share the screen, so right now China's going over into Africa and places like Pakistan, who's now in debt for 60 billion. Obviously,
Kenya was 67% of Kenyan debt. It was to China.
But look at this here.
67.
This is the plan for China. So Sri Lanka hands over port to China to pay off debt.
Yeah, yeah.
Tanabata port was signed over to Beijing on a 99-year lease because Sri Lanka cannot repay Chinese loans it took out to build the port. So they built the port. Yeah, and if you look in Africa right now, they're building. I think in Kenya they built a railway line to kind of reduce congestion on the motorways, and it's made no difference to congestion. But now Kenya is in debt in billions to them because of that. Now, once they default all the underpayment, all China does is go, okay, don't worry, but we're gonna want to take this. Now they own the port.
Yeah, and they set such a high interest, it's impossible to pay them back.
Yeah,
and it's funny how they do it to countries that are desperate. You know.
So who was
they're in Asia,
previously?
they're in like India and stuff. They're in Europe as well, because like I know they're in Greece as well, everywhere. And remember, Greece
Yeah, all countries that need money. Yeah,
and they're in
So
the Caribbean and Africa.
Who previously was the head of state of Sri Lanka? I want to take this moment to big up all the friendly Sri Lankan people I've spoken to in the last 10 years. Big up all of you because you've been really nice to me, and I love it.
like
And it's
Sri
nice. Yeah, I love them. Anyway, carry on. Who was the head of state of them?
Sri Lanka. When was this actually built? This was 2010. With Loads from Exchange Bank opened in 2010. So I don't know exactly. It would have changed. Oh,
Was it a British?
Sri Lanka
Was it a
Prime
British
Minister-
territory? Was it a British territory
Sri Lanka
before?
was, yeah. I think Sri Lanka.
Okay, that's what I was trying to find out.
Yeah, at some
So
point.
why did Britain not invest British taxpayers' money into Sri Lanka? That's a whole nother conversation.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Bro,
That's a whole
they know
hour.
they can't pay them back. That's
Have
the
a look at
difference.
this. Have a look at this. This one. This one's the worst one. Yeah. So China went into Africa and built the African Union building here for free. Yeah? So okay, we'll build it, but then they bugged it.
Wow.
The whole thing was bugged. So they
Yeah.
knew exactly what was going on. It's only when somebody that was working there started checking the computers and say, okay, every night at 3 a.m., some kind of like a security wall goes down and all this kind of information is being leaked. And they managed to kind of
Wow.
dig it. So you can see with China, no one gives anything for free. And this is what me and Miso and Land of Celts are trying to say, like on the argument. But the other side was going, no, they're just here, at the end of the day, they're not coming to colonize, but they are going to colonize by putting you
I
in
heard
debt.
somebody say that China's gonna help them defeat the West. That's so
Yeah,
like
exactly, Jen. Yeah.
yeah.
We're going to war with China soon.
I was listening in. I was just laughing at it. I was just like, really? You really think that?
My phone's from China. They might be listening to us.
That's
Where, Hawaii or what is it?
Not might be,
Hawaii phones are banned over here.
That's why. Yeah, that's why Trump was banning TikTok as well, because it's
Yeah.
a Chinese app.
Yeah,
He
no,
wanted
we
to
still
ban it.
have TikTok,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
they-
But Trump was pushing to get it banned.
They only want Americans spying on you, not Chinese.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I know. That was a good
Now-
line. That was a good one.
If you look, have a look at this. This is where money is like the root of all evil in a way. Yeah, because you know Pakistan. Obviously, I have to do my Pakistan bashing.
But why? He's always get on Pakistan.
Pakistan, yeah. So if you look at Pakistan, no, but this is a serious issue. The Uyghur Muslims in China are literally being rounded up, put into concentration
I know what you're
camps.
talking about. Yeah.
And Imran Khan is denying
silent.
anything's happening. He is
Yeah.
silent on the matter. 1.5 million. And the reason being is because
They have him on a
China
leash.
is literally going to be investing 60 billion in the next couple of years into Pakistan. They are literally like held over a barrel and having their bundapar by China. And you can see how China is gaining kind of what you call political power over people through their money. Yeah. And that's a form of colonization. It's soft colonization. It's not like your hard colonization.
Raj, it's also
someone's
about
comes in here.
because Pakistan also needs an ally against India. And you know how this is kicking off between China and India near the borders.
Yeah, at the border. Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
something
exactly.
about
So,
that.
so
Yeah.
yeah, they want to have a great alliance with China.
India's
I
got a
think
nuclear
before
weapon. So.
Chinese people
So does
died over.
Pakistan actually has more
So does
nukes than
Pakistan,
India.
yeah.
What?
Yeah. But they
Yeah,
don't have.
They
They
kept
don't
that
have long.
quiet.
They
Yeah, but
actually
they don't
have
have
more
long.
nuclear
They don't
warheads
have.
than India.
Yeah, but India's got more long-range ballistic missiles.
Yeah,
So that
but
makes
they're
Britain
right next to each other,
invested.
Raj. That's the thing. They're right. They're
And
on your
and the other
borders.
thing is, I don't want to kind of like sorry, good, but they haven't got the Sikh Punjab regiments in
Oh yeah,
Pakistan.
big up to the Sikhs.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. I'm not even bigging myself up. The Punjab regiments here make up 25% of the army, and the most decorated regiments are the Punjab
Yep.
Sikh regiments. And guess what? There's not one single Gujarat regiment under
The
Gujaratis.
thing is, though, Raj, look, if they even use nukes against even their neighbors, it will hurt them as well.
Yeah, it will.
Well,
Like
yeah.
you've heard about Chernobyl, what happened, the
Yeah.
disaster, and I've been to
Yeah.
Chernobyl
Yeah.
myself. I actually went to visit it.
Wow.
Really? How was
That's a
that?
nice holiday.
It
That's a nice
was
holiday, Miso.
it was
Oh, where do you want to
insane.
go? I'm going to Chernobyl.
I went to Kiev, and
Yeah,
then from
I
there
would
we
love
took a
to.
tour bus all the way
Wow.
to Chernobyl. I went to see it, and it's insane, man. It feels like you're
Isn't
stuck
there
in the, like,
radiation?
yeah,
Must
exactly. So
be,
they
must
stop
be.
you, and then you wear this thing like metal piece, and they measure
Yeah.
how much radiations you took throughout the.
Whoa.
And if there's too much, they go through this thing, and if it hits red light, then they have to
Yeah.
examine you. And man, it's some crazy like there's army there.
You're crazy.
So are you
man.
okay? You haven't
I
been
went there.
affected by the radiation?
It's
Just a
it's
little bit.
crazy,
If you
bro. Like,
press it down too much, it'll burn.
do you know what's
Yeah,
crazy? I was
I-
right next to the
I
reactor.
said, I'm gonna
The
fly
reactor
back.
has the least. It's
Mm.
Pripyat.
guy's
You know
mad.
the town where the workers lived. That had more
Yeah.
radiation than actually the reactor. Because they
I
have a
watched
massive
that
dome around the
series.
reactor.
Yeah, I
That
watched that series,
series
man.
on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, you did too.
I was
That
literally
good.
like 10 meters away from the reactor and the big dome.
Miso, how
Yeah.
old are you?
I'm 22.
Dude, do you want
What?
to live long? Why not go when you're 50?
Yeah, if I get cancer, I'll understand why.
Oh,
But,
God, don't say that.
I'd wait until I'm older. Like
They,
now,
they
I'm.
normally
You know what?
plant
Yeah, I'm,
daisies nearby, and if they get two-headed daisies,
No, but
that
Raj,
means
they
there's
actually
too
made
much
it safe.
radiation.
They made it safe for
Mm.
they made sure it's safe for tourists, you know?
how
You
do
know our
you
phones
know?
have got radiation.
You might be
as well.
dead
It's
next
true, yeah,
year.
it's true.
There's like pills that you can take to if you're exposed to. Isn't it like an antibiotic or something, or that they were given to the Japan people after their thingy blew up?
Sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. You said
You know
you
what?
said
Blew up by itself.
You know,
No, you
after
said
the
the Japan
nuclear
people.
thing.
No, because you said
Right, you
Japan, not
flagged
The
it.
Japanese.
Japan
Americans
people.
bombed them.
This is how you did it. Remember, you're talking about a nuclear bomb that killed hundreds of thousands of people. You said, "Oh, that thing that blew up, the Japan."
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
The
do,
nuclear
imagine General
Hiroshima
doing
and
a
Nagasaki,
documentary about Hiroshima. It blew up. That little thing that blew up.
Yeah.
But like Chernobyl, yeah, you just still see the Soviet propaganda. Like you go around, you see posters of Lenin. You see all this stuff. Like it's still there. The hammer and sickle for the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And
They still
it's
have,
mad.
from my understanding, they still have a lot of admiration for these figures because they did get them through.
No, they're very anti-Russian in Ukraine.
When I mean admiration,
Yeah.
I mean in the sense that they see them like, because from my understanding, like after during World War II, during that time, because the Nazi Germany without the Soviet Union,
Oh, 100%,
Nazi
yeah.
Germany 100% would have won.
Would have not been defeated, yeah, without Stalin.
They couldn't have defeated them without the Soviet Union,
Look.
and it's because of Stalin's.
And most people died actually in Russia.
Merciless kind of like, okay, I don't give a shit how many tanks I put out there. I don't
Like
give a
it?
shit how many men I need to kill and let die. Yeah, that's what won the war. I didn't even know
Look,
that.
Pakistan
20
and
million.
India don't need to be doing nuclear bombs because we
Yeah,
don't
it will
want
harm them. Yeah, it
radiation.
will harm them. That's the
We
thing.
don't
The
want
radiation goes
radiation
over.
on the border and all of this.
Yeah.
Testing
I've
and
said
tablets
that
and all
maybe they should do like a Bhangra dance off here, but the Sikhs
Uh-huh.
will always beat them.
Battle dance. Battle
we got
dance.
we got that rhythm.
Nothing
man.
like a
We
good
got that
old
rhythm.
battle dance.
Little Bhangra
I'd
dance
watch.
off,
I'd
man.
put money on it. I'd put money on it.
No, all the best Bhangra dances are all from India side. And
So
all
what
the
is
best
the thing
Punjabi side.
every year? I saw something that happens on the
Oh,
border.
on the border. Yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen
there's
that.
like a huge parade or
Oh, that's every
something. What
day.
is that? What
It's
is
every
that?
day. It's every day.
Oh.
Hey
what is that all
Raj, do you
about?
remember that Channel 4 show that used to come on with it was like an Indian sport that used to come on after Goli Lazio. Yes, oh
Kabaddi.
my God. So what's it called? Oh, I used to love that. And they have to hold hands and kind of beat someone up.
Yeah,
Let me
it
write
sounds-
that down.
It sounds a bit
get a pen.
gay, but it's not.
Nah, it
it's not,
wasn't.
gay.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't gay.
But it's
Wait, Raj, are you a Khalistani?
I am.
Hold up, I'm getting a pen.
Yes, let me say Ban India, Ban Modi.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, do you support the Sikhs fighting for India?
Congress, Ban freaking BJP, and Ban Pakistan as well.
Sorry, everyone. I need to write this sport down. What's it called? Tell me how to spell it.
K-A-B-B-A-D-I. I'm not really a
double B.
Yeah, double B.
But I was saying, you would support India against Pakistan.
Yeah.
Would I support India? Yeah, I mean, look here, of course, here when it comes to that, yeah, I don't have no love for Pakistan, but I have no love for India either. Yeah, so for me, after 1947, the Brits carved up India in such a way that it's just a freaking mess, and I don't believe it should have been carved in the way it should have been done. I think the Punjab, should have been a separate country in itself, including the Muslim part of it, and because I think there's 100 million Pakistani Punjabis, or Muslim Punjabis, like Ards and them, and they deal in them lot. And I think it should have been one country where the Sikhs, Muslims, and Hindus would have lived under that state, and then the different places would have had their own places as well. Yeah, it's complicated, to be honest.
It's mad because the Punjab would suffer the most between a war between India and Pakistan. Do you know what I mean?
Like, it's always every war that's been fought, even the war for independence for Bangladesh, they sent the Punjab regiments into Bangladesh. If you look at the peace treaty, the person that signed the peace treaty was a Punjabi Sikh guy that signed it, and it was a Punjab regiment that was flowing out 1,200 miles.
Yeah, I've seen that.
1,000 miles, yeah. And even the Battle of Longgarwal,
was that 1974?
1974. So even the Battle of Longgarwal, we battered Pakistan, with like a handful of soldiers. Totally destroyed all their tanks, like 400 of them.
I think they had Chinese tanks.
And guess what? They were doing bhangra on the tanks, like I'm not even joking. I got it. I don't even tank bhangra. I swear to God,
tank
they literally.
bhangra.
You won't get a strike for this because I actually not leave it yet.
Oh,
basically,
God.
when they won
No,
I'm not joking. When they beat them, they danced on the tanks. They were doing bhangra on the tanks.
But what was the reason for the 1970? Like, why did Pakistan invade in Bangladesh?
Because it was more to do with all right. So Bangladesh is like 1,300 miles away. So it's a totally different culture. In fact, I have more in common with, say, Ards than a Bengali does in terms of culture, because we speak the same language. We're from the same part of the world. We have a similar temperament, and a Bengali has a totally different language, culture, and history, but they have religion in common. So the religion they set up West Pakistan and East Pakistan, but unfortunately, although the Bangladesh, which was at the time East Pakistan, was the majority, when they won the elections, West Pakistan wouldn't allow them to rule the country. So it was kind of like they saw them as second-class citizens, and they wanted to take away their land because they speak Bengali. And so they wanted them to start speaking Urdu. So a civil war kind of come out of that, because the guy that actually won the election was from the Bangladesh side, but they refused to acknowledge him. And they sent troops in to kind of like suppress the intelligentsia. They killed like 2 million people and raped like 600,000 women and stuff like that.
It's mad.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, crazy. But they saw them as, I'll be honest with you, there was a racial element because... they saw them as lesser than the Punjabis or the people from the Pakistan side. They saw them as kind of like I can't remember what it was. I think that the thing was that they saw them more like Hindus, but they were not real Muslims. They were like kind of like a kind of like Hindufied Muslims over there. Yeah, it's crazy, man. You need to speak to people like Gain and them lot.
He's mad, 2 million is a lot of people.
I wouldn't speak to Halima. Halima. No one killed anyone in Bangladesh. I was just all brothels there and prostitutes. We didn't do nothing. We didn't do. That's what she says. It's like crazy. It's like the reason why people are annoyed with her is because that she's denying a Holocaust of a people or a genocide of a people, and it's not a joke. Like
it's actually so disrespectful.
It's a joke. Like to even say that, because it's not even like it was 100 years. It was literally 1972. You're talking about like people that I grew up with whose parents were probably could have been part of that or seen stuff like that.
Whoa.
What was it? 1982?
No, 1972.
72, what was it, Bangladesh
Mm.
war with who?
Pakistan.
It was basically what you might call a civil war.
Yeah.
Pakistan war.
So Pakistan used to be East Pakistan and West
West,
Pakistan.
yeah.
And then now East Pakistan is now called Bangladesh, and West Pakistan is now called the bitch of China.
Oh, I've got Bengali neighbours.
Yeah,
I've
I'll
worked
be
as a
honest.
Bengali guy before.
I'll be honest with you, until I've been to Speaker's Corner, I've had no issue with Bengalis. I've always been cool with them. Then I met the Sir Fazes and the Great Dunyas and the Sheikh ones and all these freaking nut jobs, and they've been like, never met anyone like that. I've normally
Yeah,
got
but you know, the people who are online tend to be like the worst
Yeah.
of the you know, like no one in
Yeah.
real life acts like that. Like
Yeah,
no
I'll
one
be
in
honest with you, that's
real
what people
life-
say to me. They say, Raj, before I met you, I used to really like Sikhs. Now I hate them. I'm like, what? You're judging all Sikhs from me. It's like, you shouldn't judge a whole community from a handful of what you might consider to be outspoken people. People that go Speaker's Corner tend to be the most, let's just say, kind of like extremes of their communities in terms of wanting to speak and stuff. So yeah, even I've had to think in my head, because most Bengalis I've met in real life, I don't have no issues with Bengalis personally. Even Pakistanis up to a point. You know, I don't have in my area. There's loads of Pakistan. I don't really have problems in my area. It's something about these northern towns, and it's a bit like the South maybe in America, where you have these hillbillies in these towns that are a bit weird. And that's how I liken these kind of Pakistanis in these northern towns. They're like the hillbillies of the UK, you know.
Yeah, they're out there in the sticks doing wild shit.
Yeah,
There's more freedom to move around. It's not
It's
so
dangerous,
crowded
though.
like
It's
in the
dangerous.
city.
It's so segregated up north, where they don't
up
even.
north?
Yeah, like bro, there's like areas where, like, if you go like Bradford, it's like 97% Pakistani or South Asian, and they don't see this one white person rolling the road maybe every like week or something, and this is what there's. It's just such a segregated.
But that is
place,
kind
you know?
of not. That's like inner city areas, because I've did a lot of sales around the UK. So like inner city environment, you'll get a lot of poverty, and then around the poverty, you'll get all these kind of mansions and farms, and so
Yeah,
it's kind
exactly,
of it is kind of drastic when you look at it on that level as well. But when you're looking at the Conservative Party, you've got Rishi Sunak handling the money.
He's a
Chancellor,
Punjabi as well.
etc.
He's a Punjabi
Yeah.
as well.
Big success. I think that's a world record probably. Then you've got Priti Patel, who's quite horrible, not very likable person, but she's successful.
Gujarati.
Yeah, successful, but she's not likable.
Sajid
Then you've got
Javid.
Sajid Javid, who's just taken over Matt Hancock. But with Rishi Sunak, his wife is related to some rich
But don't forget
millionaire.
about Sadiq Khan as well. He's mayor of London.
Yeah, but he's not rich. He's Bengali and he's not Indian rich. The three people
I thought he was Pakistani. He was Pakistani.
Is he Pakistani? Shame, I thought he was Bengali.
Yeah,
But no, the three ones are named. They're
So,
related. They've got millionaire connections. They're super rich.
According to the
Boris loves them.
2011 census in Bradford, is 67% white and 26% Asian
Where is this?
or Asian British.
Bradford.
That's a 2011 census of
Yeah, I mean
Bradford,
the
UK.
problem is like with London, yeah, like if you ever come to London, you'll see that it's very hard to segregate communities. 'Cause in order to get to one area to the next, you have to go through the area. Like if I want to go over
Yeah,
here,
London, I
so-
imagine, is like New York.
yeah, it's very cosmopolitan. So you have areas that are predominantly one group, but they're not segregated in that sense. They're not like an enclave of people because it's very
Yeah.
hard to do that in London. But in these northern towns, it's just the way they're set up. It's like once you've got these little groups here, they don't mix afterwards unless they go into the center of the town. Do you understand? So it's like micro communities, like in these places that don't talk to each other. And that obviously is going to cause issues if you don't talk to people from different communities. That's what it's.
We do have Jewish communities. We're not going to pretend that in Stamford Hill that they mix.
Yeah,
Or they've moved. Some of
Big
them
up
have moved to
people,
Canby Island, the Hasidic Jewish community. Then you've got more modern Jews in Barnet and Enfield they wouldn't dress in traditional Hasidic clothing, but their lineage, you've got people like Dave Badil, who is related to the modern Jewish community in Golders Green. He comes from a very famous Jewish family, and they kind of know their lineage is quite thick, so they kind of marry off into sects of and they've got like on Who Do You Think You Are, which is a genealogy program. David Baddiel went to Golders Green in 2 minutes. Some rabbi stopped him in the street and was just like, David Baddiel sang the song three lines on the shirt. He's Jewish, and he's saying England is, it's coming home, it's coming home. But he wasn't talking about Israel, he was talking about England. A rabbi stopped him in the street and said, "Oh, I know your family, they're famous." And then some guy bibbed his car horn and parked the car, walked over and went, "Yeah, I know you, you're my cousin, I'm your fourth cousin." So there are kind of closed communities where it's not signs on the street to say no.
It's the same in like if you look at Southall before. I mean, right now it's mixed. Southall used to, you know, with that video I played with a guy done, that play used to play like, he used to look like mini Punjab. I mean, literally you'd go, they gentrified it now, but it was like a totally different area, like when you'd go down there, but it wasn't segregated. I'm talking about like, you know, like the problem is that with these northern towns, because of the way they're located, it's not really the people's fault because they were kind of put into these places or moved there into big groups because you want to be with people that are like you when you immigrate. But then the people, white people fled out, and then there's nobody in there apart from that one group, and they're not mixing with the next group. Whereas in London, you see people are still mixing up to a point, even though they got their own little groups. That's
I think with London, you're forced to, you know?
Yeah, you're forced to. That's it. That's what I want to say. You're forced to mix with each
other. Well, in London, we all go to school with each other, and there's no such thing as a black school per se. Like there might be a school where there's loads of black kids, or there might be a school where there's loads of Bengali children or loads of Indian children or whatever. But ultimately, the school is run underneath an English manifesto, English kind of Ofsted type of system. Whereas in the communities I named, you will have Jewish ambulance service, Jewish schools, mosque, temple,
security.
You know what I'm saying? So it is gated in a sense that. As if you're a 6 foot tall black guy walking around at night time, you're going to look suspicious. You know, people might be, curtains might be twitching. You might just be going to see a friend, but you know what I mean? You're not in a zone where you're going to, it's just not like the rest of London. You know, this is
where I think this concept of no-go zone areas come from, because I think the no-goes, there's not really no-go zone area. It's in people's heads up top. Because if I walk into I remember when I was around 16, and at that time I'd never been to a fully white area, and I remember going to a fully white area in Romford, and I felt really uncomfortable. But no one was saying anything to me. No one done anything to me. No one looked at me. But I felt like I wanted to get out of there. And I think that's probably what happens to white people when they go into areas which is like predominantly one group. They think in their own head it's danger.
It's a psychological barrier.
But it's not. It's no unless someone actually touches you, then it's not a no-go zone area. It just means you're uncomfortable in those areas. The same with you when you're saying that if you was to go to a Jewish area, you might have, you know, people might start making you feel like you're uncomfortable down there because they're looking and stuff like that.
But if it's like they're just like they have their Yom Kippur and they have their special prayer events, if you're walking on the same side of the pavement as a synagogue and they're all coming out, walking up and down, and you know they can be a bit in their own little pace of life, you might think, oh shit, maybe if I cross the road, I won't offend someone, or you know, because it's a lot. It is literally the property wise, they even own a lot of the properties and might sublet them out to, you know, outsiders, but they're an established community. But in the same sense,
you'd be scared to offend them to cross the street.
Not offend them, but it's like, how can I explain it? If there's 25 people coming out of a synagogue and there's people doing Yom Kippur and praying in their tents and they're focused, their mentality is, look, I'm trying to get to my brother's house on the left, and they might think you're in the way. They might try and barge you. But not to challenge you as a fight.
Anyone, any group.
No, I'm talking about specifically the Hasidic community, because they don't watch they quote unquote don't watch television. They don't have mobile phones. They don't watch porn. They just go to pray and do whatever. When they come out of the synagogues, they can be quite.
They're kind of like.
It can be a culture. It can be a culture shock. It can be a bit of a cultural tension.
But that's not the public's issue.
That sounds like
I'm not talking about the public. I'm just saying
and
going
Jewish
to
people
Stamford.
don't like mixing with no one in Stamford Hill. Yeah.
I'm just saying in Stamford Hill, you can literally turn a corner and you could be going past the Jewish hospital, and they would make you feel like, "Oh, you stand to one side. We're coming through." If you get what I mean, they're not going to say it to you, but they're not.
Yeah, and then you
looking
have
at
to stand your ground. You don't cross.
No, I'm
the
not saying that I wouldn't stand. I'm more likely be in my car, but I'm trying.
Stand in front of the ambulance, Red. Next time, just stand in front of it. Don't let
Yeah,
them through.
I think I'm being misunderstood, but what I'm trying to say
No, I
is
get
that
what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
they've got a presence and a dominance within their community, and I'm not against it, but it's something I've experienced living in London, innit? And I'm not.
I mean,
a coward.
it's like on Friday on the prayers for Muslims, maybe the same thing. Like when people are coming out.
No, it's different because it's different to that. It's different to that because I think it's different. It's just different.
Do they play
I don't
the
think
thing
it's the
in
same.
London? Do they play the call to prayer in London? Like on a loudspeaker?
They do.
I
And
don't know,
Eid,
not even.
when it's Eid.
Oh yeah, once a year.
Like
Oh,
Christmas
that's
time,
it?
they do. No, they do Eid three, ain't it to twice, or I think it's more than once. They do two.
Yeah, I mean,
think there's two.
like even the Sikhs when we
Ramadan and Eid.
Do you know during the like we call Vaisakhi, we go on the like massive processions like all over London, all over the UK, like people swinging swords all over the place.
And embarking, you go.
Embarking, yeah.
Mad.
They got a new temple down Barking, man. Yeah, I just went there yesterday.
Yeah.
Brand new one, beautiful.
They do
one,
the
man, down
festival. Like, I don't know what it's for though. What is it for?
It's basically the birth of what we say called the Khalsa, which is like how you see Sikhs today with the turban and the beard and the 5Ks. That's when that's when it was kind of originated from in 1699 in April. So that's why Sikhs always celebrate it at that time. So you'll see embarking and all that. You go around in a procession and stuff. I mean, if you did that every day, it would probably annoy people. But once a year or twice a year, people don't really mind.
Do you think if they introduce social mobility like things into places like Bradford or up north, where there seems to be a higher community of Bengali or Pakistani people, so if it was easier for people to climb the class levels to go from working class, middle class, upper class, do you not see that as something that could be a barrier to making the area more diverse? That there's a lack of social mobility? And maybe prejudice towards these people that you're talking about.
I just think that the one of the biggest problems is that when you don't talk to other people, and you start, you basically don't have no kind of like, you start to lose empathy with another group. The first thing that needs to happen in these northern towns is that the white people need to understand the people living next to them who are from the Pakistani stuff, that community, they need to start communicating. From what I've seen from these northern towns, they don't see, I mean, maybe I'm getting the wrong end of the stick, but it looks like from an outside that they're just like totally separated just along the line of race, nothing else. Yeah, it's not
Do you
it's
think
not to do
it's
with
the
wealth
white
or
people
anything.
who don't want to talk to them, or do you think it's them who don't want to talk to the white people? Because I'm not even gonna lie, right? Like I used to play games with this Pakistani guy from Leicester, and he used to tell me stories about how like his parents and shit when he was growing up would not allow him to have any white or black friends come to the house. Like, and he wasn't allowed to like ever go to any like birthday parties or with the little kids. Unless they were black kids, or I mean, I'm sorry, unless they were Pakistani kids.
I think there is an element of
That's how they think they're gonna corrupt them, or
yeah, exactly my point. I was gonna say that I think they associate with like, oh, you hang around with the whites, you're gonna get corrupted into the culture, and then if you hang around with a black kid, you're gonna get corrupted as well. This is what they always kind of think.
That's not logical, because why would you move to a European country?
it's not logical, but it's just like
Because
an old
bro, that's
mentality.
the thing.
And
They don't. I don't think they're moving there because it's more to do with like the economic. Oh, a better education for their kids. They're better off for like in terms of work opportunities.
I remember those areas are mainly had like steel mills and stuff. So when they really,
Yeah.
there was a logic to going there. So when you went there, they had a lot of industry down there. So they moved into areas. And like, look, when my parents come down first, they moved into a house with like 4 different their brothers and sisters. You understand? They moved in together with their cousins because you want to be around people that are in the same struggle as you when you first come down. Yeah. And that's just normal to happen. But in these northern towns, because of the way
Yeah,
they're
his
set up.
cousins live like 2 houses down from them, and they were always like back and forth in each other's houses and everything. Like, I don't know.
I think it
So
stems from the
I
parents
think
as
it
well.
goes both ways, kind of,
Dude,
right?
I got my cousin across the road. I've only been in the house 5 times in my entire life. He lives literally like, if I say hello, I'll just knock on the door. All right, how you doing? I don't go around their houses.
But Jen, if it's both ways, then there would be social mobility in both groups. If only
What you
one
mean
group,
by when you say that? I'm sorry. So what?
so
Like
social
just
mobility should go
layman.
simple. In layman's terms, you go to primary school, then you go to college, and whatever you do in college, you get a job, and then you move out of mum and dad's house, and then maybe you get married. You might marry outside your culture, stay in your culture. But if there's some kind of invisible glass ceiling that's keeping everybody in poverty, then they're going to be more inclined to stay in the same hood, the same community, and not excel. Whereas with the European community, they might not face that issue, so they can go to London, Greenwich, Norwich, Scotland, Ireland, come
I
back,
get what you're saying. I get what
complain,
you're saying.
and do you know what I
They're
mean?
stuck. They're stuck because of because they're going to be stuck because of poverty as well. Like, you know, moving house is going to be difficult, especially moving to another area where the house prices are so high and stuff like that. But the thing is, I don't know how they're going to kind of resolve. The thing is, my school was like mixed. Majority was Pakistani. You're looking around 65%. But there was blacks, there was whites, there was I think there was one Chinese person as well.
One.
You
There's
know,
always one Chinese person.
One little child used to always ask me, you eat dog today? You eat dog?
Oh,
Is that
I
what
think
you
the
used to
problem.
say?
I think the
wow,
problem. Yeah.
Raj,
I
you
didn't
bullying
really.
the Chinese guy. Wow. Okay.
I didn't know about the dog stuff. I'll be honest, if I did know about them eating dogs, I would have asked him, but I didn't know at that time. There was no internet.
But Raj, you know what it is? I think it's the problem is split into 3. It's cultural, religious, and I was gonna say cultural, religious, and it's more to do with like the people not willing. For example, the whole grooming thing. A lot of Pakistani girls, they're not allowed to be kind of how the other girls are in this country. Like go out, drink, or speak. So they kind of kept at home a lot more. So the guys would often, like you see, the other guys would often go to people from like other backgrounds and other cultures. You know what I mean? And it's kind of it's an unhealthy way of like the way they view it on women and stuff like that. It's not.
The thing is
specifically
that
to Pakistani people,
this particular number. This is a. I have to be fair. Obviously, I love bashing Pakistanis, but it is an Asian issue as well. Like some communities in the Asian community have it worse, but some it's an honor culture. Yeah, and honor is not a bad thing in itself. Yeah, but when you go to a point where you'd rather kill your child than let them disrespect you, then there's something wrong. So there's cases of somebody maybe marrying someone from a different group, and rather than letting that happen, they'd rather kill the child, or even with the rape and the grooming and stuff. Rather than
because it's the shame, like they don't want the community to look down on their family. And I just think like an old mentality. I think the other children that are coming up, I think it's going to change soon.
But it's changing already. It's changing already. No doubt about it. It's changing already. It's changing already, but it's still something that's kind of like still there up to a point. But I don't think having honor and stuff like this kind of stuff is bad in itself. Totally, like you don't want to be going to a point where you think certain things are totally normal and just letting it go. Yeah,
this is Britain. At the end of the day, I watched the film East is East, and as much as I love the dad character, the dad was wrong. And they was eating bacon in the kitchen in the morning, and their mum was white. And look, the dad was a hypocrite anyway because he had a white wife and he wanted his kids to be super religious. But this is England. You come here as an immigrant family, or your grandparents come here in the Windrush or whatever, and it's all controversial. Oh, don't mix because we don't have any mix in our family. But by 2027, do you know what I mean? This is England. It works for every culture, every group. We just get diluted. And I don't care how nationalized you want to be or how proud of where you come from you want to be. The reality is your great grandchildren or your grandchildren are going to be, one of them is going to be mixed. And what you're going to do? You're going to be the greatest grandparent that everybody laughs at, or
of course, no one's going to hate their grandchild because they're mixed, but you know, that's not a guarantee. But
I
you
mean,
know,
that's something that I've seen myself.
be possible.
Like in the 80s, one of my not my relative, it was one of somebody my sister married into a family, and his sister married a black guy in the 80s, and in the 80s that was unheard of. Yeah, like marrying outside of your own kind of group. And so the family disowned her, like the parents here, but the siblings kept in contact. The only thing that broke everything down was when the grandparents started seeing the grandkids, because then they broke. Now they're totally fine with each other, but it took like 15, 20 years. But it was the grandkids that kind of broke the barrier down. Yeah,
But then it's like sometimes if someone's not going to see their grandchild for 15 years, should you even let them see that? Unless the grandchild wants to see them. Like,
yeah, I think it was more of a sense. From my understanding, was that the other grandkids were all mixing already here for years, because the brothers were always talking to the sister, even though the parents didn't. And then when the grandparents started looking at the photos, they were like, "Oh, all right," you know. And it's slowly. You have to understand the mentality and the mindset of the first group of Asians coming over.
Yeah,
they did have this very in-group preference, like you've got to marry within your own group.
And Raj, I was going to say something about that fact that certain communities are becoming less conservative. And for example, if you look at the South Asian Muslims, they're very conservative. So the first generations had no problems. For example, the white people in the 60s in the UK, they were very conservative. So their views were kind of aligned. And as the country got less conservative and more liberal, that community stayed very conservative. And this is why you have such a big divide today.
Dude, no. I will say this: right. So I've grown up in a Pakistani area. I'm telling you something now. The Pakistanis from my generation, I don't think they were even Muslims. They were cultural Muslims. We used to all give each other's Christmas cards. They used to wish me happy Diwali. I'd say happy Eid. I remember they used to have. I don't even remember them fasting. I'm not gonna even lie. So those generation that first come down, for some reason, their children are much more orthodox than they are. Yeah,
now they're going back. Yeah, the younger generation's getting more religious, and like, because that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
I think my thing is this.
I feel like they search for an identity. Because you know the first generations, they have the identity. They know they came from that country. They grew up there. The second generation, they didn't grow up in the country, so they kind of feel like they need the identity. So they adopt the identity and they become more extreme at it. If you know what I mean.
No, but the other thing is that they kind of the first generation are coming here to settle down and make a life. So they haven't got time to think about X, Y, Z. But then their children's children or their grandkids, they are now settled now, so they can now start looking into, where did my father come from? Where did my people come from? And they start to become more, let's say, Pakistani than their parents, more like Sikhs than, because even Sikhs have become more religious. Like my nephew's very religious. When the Sikhs first come down, a lot of them didn't even wear turbans because when they come down, they cut their turban off and they just wanted to work and stuff like that and fit in. And so it's happened with all the communities, I think. But obviously,
a couple days ago, I was talking. Oh, 1 second. I'm sorry. A couple days ago, I forget what live stream I was on, but somebody was on the panel talking about fucking liberal values and blah blah. I think it was on G Block. I think it might have been like Ralph on talking, but and I was just throwing hot ones in the chat. You know how I like to do every once in a while. And I said, yeah, like people, like you hear stories about people fleeing these countries to literally come to the more like advanced West, the more liberal West, where they're not going to have so much fear, where they can live freely, they can live openly how they want to live and not be forced like to live any certain kind of way. So it's like you hear these stories, and yes, you know, there's always a financial like aspect into it, but it's like that generation, like some people came here for more liberal values, you know what I'm saying? Like they came here for that. Like that was the whole reason. Like that,
exactly.
You know, a lot of people feel like they can't do what they need to or what they want to do in those
politically
countries
as well. There's sometimes we've got to remember a lot of the politics in India, Africa, maybe parts of the Caribbean, maybe around issues such as independence as well. Because you've got to remember, around the 60s, there was a lot of Commonwealth countries going independent. Some of your family, some of the people we're talking about, family members, are like public enemy number one. And if they didn't leave, they were going to get taken down by some kind of, violent force. So they come here, like what Jen just said, in a liberal kind of mentality, but still trying to hold on to conservative beliefs. But unfortunately, once you come into the Venus trap, which is the Isle of Great Britain, you become Eurocentric. Your bloodline will become, it's going to become like Brazil here. So people that come here thinking they're going to hold on to their heritage, and unless you've got property and land back there and you don't have people trying to kill you or shoot you or rob you, yeah, maybe you can hold on to some of your heritage. But if you just come here and you came here broke, bankrupt, and you're trying to start social mobility yourself up through the class system in Britain, good luck, because it's probably not going to happen until like 5 generations later, and then they'll forget
I'll
all
be honest with you.
connections.
I don't think people from like ethnic minorities are going to forget their background, because if I've met people that are, let's just say, I've met some Polish people who, unless I ask them about, because I say, oh, unless I talk, I say, oh, your name's a bit strange. Oh, my great grandpa was Polish, but I'm English. So because of the skin color, they can pass it. But us people that are from, you know, Asia or black, we never ever. As soon as someone sees us, they're going to ask. And I don't think it's rude to ask, where did your, you know, family originally come from? Yeah, you're always going to be reminded of that because of the way you look.
Right,
and
your child.
I'm not.
But
I'm
I
not
don't know,
ashamed of
like
that, though.
people over here,
Right, your
even in
grandchild.
America, like even in America, like people will still say, they're like, oh, what are you? They're like, oh, I'm French, or I'm whatever, Polish or German, you know, like I still answer, I'm Italian, you know,
Yeah, and I think that's a
Italian
good.
and
That's why I
British,
say the
whatever.
American
Like,
models. The American
But in
models
England,
have
I
to
just
it.
think
It's
that
the
they
best way.
just, I think England is a very, it's the queen bee's nest where all of the English language comes from, the English laws, financial systems, and colonialism, and all that comes from. So when you come here from another race, one of your grandchildren will filter out the melanin. They look at Rio Ferdinand's children; they're blonde with flipping hazel eyes and green eyes. His mum's
Oh,
black.
my
You know what
sister's
I'm saying?
married an English guy, so
Yeah, but isn't
obviously,
Rio
Meghan
Ferdinand
Markle's
mixed himself?
children. But what I'm trying to explain to you is it only takes 2 to 3 generations for one of your bloodline, one of your lineage to lose touch with the heritage. Therefore, me saying that Britain is a tiny island that's going to end up like Brazil with just a sea of brown people. It's just obvious. It's the mathematics. Look at the numbers. Look at the
no,
figures.
I personally think it's going to become like it should be like America, where you have people under the umbrella of being American, but they're Chinese American, they're Italian Americans, but they're basically Americans. The same with the UK. I don't think there's anything
American.
wrong. I don't think that
It's too
America. I don't think there's
small.
anything. I don't think there's
It's
anything
too
wrong
small.
keeping your identity, because like I said, I'm a
I'm
British
proud of where
Punjabi.
I'm from, and I'm proud that people can say where they're from. I'm not against it,
Exactly.
but because
Yeah, that's me
because
as
of
well.
I've driven up and down this country a lot of times. I haven't driven to Scotland yet. I've more or less driven to most of the parts of England. It's a tiny, 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 tiny,
Yeah.
tiny piece of land, and with all the sexing and race mixing that's going to happen in the next 30 years, there's going to we're going to become a Mongolized nation. And this is why there's a lot of debate online, especially in England, about the white replacement and the census data. Because I'm cool to know that, yeah, one of my kids might, you know, I'm not gonna lose sleep because I'm not that type of way inclined. Like, oh my God, all my children must be black and all my grandchildren must be black. If I was that person, then I'd be losing sleep. I'd be on Jen's show every night going, these fucking white people. But I'm just chill, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just chill.
So you won't be like Raupish, who's worrying about the white replacement while making more brown kids.
No, but do you know what it is as well? There's one more important thing. There are certain groups that are more open to, for example, marrying outside, and other groups are not. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, within the Asian communities, they will most likely marry within their own like Asian. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's kind of like
That's how it starts off. That's how it starts off.
But
and then
it is
changes.
like,
no, but
so
bro,
if
that's
you-
even like within the first generation. That's just a general
But
concept.
let me
So I have
tell
my
you,
cousins that only marry Arabs.
But dude, if you used to tell me that my mum would have accepted a white dude marrying my sister like 20 years ago, I would have said, you're crazy. I
No.
can't imagine that.
Yeah.
But she's accepted it. She's totally fine. She speaks to him in English and Punjabi. He started to learn and all that. And it's totally normal. Like, we don't have any culture clash or anything. Like, it's
Exactly.
totally fine. So people can acclimatize and adjust their views over time. Yeah, it just takes time. Nothing's fixed in that terms of thing. Dude, you know what? I didn't realize how long I've been here. Big up to you, Jen Wallace. I need to shoot, dude. But we'll have that conversation about China, me, so we'd learn the Celts next time.
Yeah, bro. Big up.
Anyway, big up Red.
Peace, man. Thanks for coming through.
Big
Bye,
up
Rod.
Conference Talks and big up MB. So
I
take
got
care,
to shoot
guys.
soon
Man.
as well.
Big up.
Yeah, big up, man. Take care.
Yeah, this is a deep convo, man. It is, but I'm not saying that I'm for this new world order replacement theory. Yeah, let's all get the brown out of us. Let's all be white. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that I've analysed the situation and I've looked at the country. It's tiny. Yeah, I've gone to bigger countries and gone, wow, oh my God, they've got a mountain in the middle of the country and a river, 5 rivers, and 5 times the amount of people where I'm from, and like they're just being held back politically. This makes no sense. So I've been to bigger countries, and you can see there's zones where there's fairer skinned people and a zone where there's darker skinned people, which equates to the equator. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So when you go
100%,
to,
bro. I
you know
agree
what I'm
with you.
saying? But in England has got a class system which is corrupt, and then you've got tons of asylum seekers on top of Windrush, on top of immigrants coming in, and that's not going to stop. Then you've got EU people coming in. At some stage, we're all going to end up mixing and blending and making a smoothie, innit? It's just inevitable, whether we want to, you know what I mean? For it not to happen, the upper class need to keep all the blacks out. But look at what I said for like half an hour ago. Our Chancellor of the Exchequer, he's a rich millionaire, Indian. Rishi Sunak, Indian. Priti Patel, Indian. They're all part of the Conservative government that's ruling the country. Their children are going to private school and mixing with white kids. Their kids are not trying to go back to India to, get in touch with their roots. It's just not going to happen unless they move back. And the same thing with all the footballers. Look how many black footballers there are going out with like outside their race or whatever. Muslim football players going outside their race, having brown kids having brown kids, mixing. Look at Love Island, the show Love Island. You've got black guys kissing white girls. It's gone. It's the
Do you know what it is
cat's
though,
out the
bro?
bag.
I'm against that though, bro. Because I feel like it's forced, I'm against, for example, I'm a non-white person as well. I'm against, for example, people being on Love Island. I just feel like they're just doing it, not they're doing it out of pity, it's forcing diversity. Is it accepted? That's the thing. It's like, are they doing it to be more inclusive, or they're actually just doing it out of pity, just so they're
I
looking
don't think they're forcing diversity because they always only put like 2 or 3 black people in there.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's a majority of white countries, and I feel like they're doing it just
Not
out of
diverse. It's always majority white people, and then the black.
I don't know what Love Island is.
Like I don't even
Love
know.
Island's like a show where models go on and they
There
kind
needs to
of.
be a Black Island.
Even today, for example, even today, bro. Like, if you look at the 3 players, and look, England wins, they praise them. England loses, they slag them off, and all the racial slurs are thrown against them. See, these people can be an asset to their countries rather than playing for England. You know what I mean?
You're funny. But Sterling came here. He was scouted
So
from young.
you think that
Same.
the English team should be all white English people?
Then
I
they'll
feel
never
like
win.
they should have it. It should because all these players could be a great asset to their countries, and a lot of people, just because when they lose, they slag them off, and it's not right. The players should deserve to be praised, no matter what. Just because you missed a penalty, you don't deserve to be racially abused. What's the point of playing for a team that only if you win they will praise you, and then if you not, they're gonna start cursing you? Do you know what I mean?
Never
They
heard
don't
nothing
respect
like
you.
that though. Like the
You know,
first
they
thing
don't
you
respect
said
you in
after
general.
they lost, they went to racism. I'm like, what? I
Yeah,
thought
that's what I
you
mean.
were
Like, me, I would
joking,
never.
but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
it's
I'm saying,
weird.
you play for your country, regardless, you're not gonna get slagged off because
But can I be the devil's advocate? Can I say something that's gonna be like it's factual, but you're gonna hate it and you're gonna say something good back, and then I'm gonna listen. Yeah, factual. Yeah, because I don't want to big up myself because this is Jen's show, but I did read out 3 or 4 news articles on my live stream where Gareth Southgate, the England manager, said, we're taking the knee and you lot better put up with it whether you like it or not because the team is diverse. And he got so much criticism for that. And that's why I like Gareth Southgate, because I think he's genuine and it's made me like him because he seems a bit more normal, even though he's part of the system, the system we're criticizing.
Of course, bro.
But what say you? What say you now? Because there might be some pushback about the knee situation, which is factual, I want to hear your push. I want to hear what you've got to say in response to that, bro.
So what I think of
Your
what them
response,
taking the
because
knee.
I think that's in the air. That factually conversation happened, didn't it? And obviously, people might utilize that conversation as a weapon. You know what I'm saying?
To-
And I feel like, yeah, you want to answer back against those people that are going to weaponize the kneeling. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course, bro.
Do
But
you get me?
look,
Do you get
that's what I'm saying. The problem is you have like fans in the millions, yeah,
me?
who they only like the black players when they score. The moment they miss or they do something, all the racial abuse, they're throwing bananas at them and stuff like that, and that's just not right. Do you know what I'm saying? These guys, these guys deserve more respect, and this is why I said to you, if they're playing for their own country, they would have that respect. Not only they're gonna be helping these countries reach a higher level in football, they're also gonna be like it's more honorable, you know, when you're carrying your own country's shirt. Like, for example, if you look at Sadio Mane, he's from Senegal, yeah, and he's saying all he donates most of his money to his people. He said, I don't want to. I want to make sure all Senegalese people go to sleep with their stomach full and start like before I spend my money on all like on cars and just I'm spending my money like recklessly. And that's just someone that I respect. And he goes and plays for Senegal. He wants to make sure his team is represented in the World Cup. His team that's the problem. Most of these players that you see, Pogba, they play for France, they already make a fortune anyway, regardless. Do you know what I mean? So it wouldn't hurt them, for example, to represent their countries who actually need them more than England. These rich countries, they can get players regardless. Do you know what I mean? And there's the fact that majority of the fans don't respect you. What's the point of you playing for them? Like, you should have your own self-respect. Say, I would not play for just because they offer me this shirt. Do the people actually want me to play for them? That's the difference.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't think they're just following the bag?
They don't want.
Sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I think when it's the World Cup, they should play for their like native country. But like in the European one, like they can play for England if they want because.
But since they
still
can't
need
do
to
that, they can't do that. You have to choose one international. You know, when you choose you can't go back as well. So if you choose to play for England, that's it. You can't go.
Yeah,
You can't pick and
contract.
choose what
do that.
country. No, yeah, it's not allowed.
System thing.
But they're
So
already
now
millionaires in the club.
I went to school with two players that were really excellent, and they got looked over by the national clubs. No, actually, they both played for Queens Park Rangers, actually, but they were really good, but they just didn't have that systematic push, that middle class push that you're supposed to get. Like David Beckham had that kind of setup. You've got to come from a really good home, good academy, good. You've got to go through a system. Let's just use the word system.
100%
So a lot of the
connections.
disadvantaged people from less social mobility backgrounds, they've got that street savvy playing skill that would have won England the game tonight, but they get overlooked because they're not really, they don't fit into the system. They've got
100%, bro. You need to have connections. Yeah.
disadvantages. Yeah, but I knew two players that tried to go into the system, kind of got into the system, but then did what you said and think like you or thought like you and went and played for the national Jamaican team. The issue we've got with all of the countries that you're referring to is they've still got some type of financial relationship with Europe or Britain, which disadvantages them sports wise nationally. That makes sense. You get it?
Yeah, but I get that. But the thing is, yeah, what you're mentioning is you're going to play for England. If anything, you're going to make it even worse. You're going to set your country even worse because now you've added more to the country who already doesn't need. For example, England is financially stable. It's already a rich nation, you know, and they can get good players regardless. Do you know what I'm saying? Now that you've signed up, you've set your country even back further, where you could have been an asset to your country. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
in the same sense, I can make it into a pop singer scenario. Would Beyonce still be Beyonce if she signed the record deal in Nigeria? Probably not.
But that's different though, bro. Because
Yeah.
look, do you know why it's different? Because most of these players already play for clubs and they make millions. So and most of them actually donate the money that they get from their national team anyway, because they don't really make much from playing for like England or they most of you see their wealth, they come from the clubs that they play for.
Yeah.
So people like Pogba, they don't really need to play for France. He's making millions from playing for Man United. Do you know what I'm saying? So what is it going to cost him if he actually, for example, goes to his home country and plays for them and actually represents them? It also helps the country go up and see more representation in major competitions like the World Cup and stuff like that. you would see more, for example, contribution from black nations. More, you'll see them like, you know what I mean?
But
More
that's the difference
representation.
between, sometimes there's a difference between an immigrant or a migrant, like someone who's come from the Windrush generation, came here as part of the British Empire to replace all the dead soldiers, all the dead white men from World War II. There were hardly any white men. So a lot of the black men came, we spoke the language, we were Christian, came here, boom, got on with the work. But if you're an asylum seeker and you're running away from political instability from a country and then you end up becoming a football player, why would you go back to a place where they killed your uncle? Why would you go back to a country where they killed people in your family who were trying to bring democracy into your country?
No, I agree
Why
with
would
you.
you
I
represent
agree.
that team?
I agree, but what's the percentage of people are asylum seekers though? Majority of them are like third, fourth generation. Anyway, do you know what I mean? How many of them are literally asylum seekers?
Brother,
It's rare. It's
if
rare
you're
that
the
you're going to
fourth generation, it's like I think the same thing happened in the film Lion King or even Wakanda. If you're the fourth or the third generation and you got haters in your motherland, that's worse than having beef in the streets in London or Bradford or wherever. Because at least in London you can deal with the beef and go home and feel safe. When you're going back to the motherland, wherever that may be, and you ain't been there for a hot minute and you've got the keys to the kingdom, are you really ready for that beef? Do you know all the places? You know what I mean? Do you really know what
Yeah,
you're getting yourself into?
I know what you mean, but it's worth a try, you know. This is my point. Like, it's not my point is not, oh, like I'm saying, oh, the English. I don't like. I'm not even English, so I can't speak on their behalf saying I want our team all white. But I would say my point is these players could be a great asset to their countries. Do you know what I mean? I'm just against even like any. For example, if I see I'm Iraqi, so I might see an Iraqi player playing for English. I'm like, bro, you can be a better asset to the country. Do you know what I mean? This country is already wealthy. Like they have good football clubs. They can easily get English players to play for England. You know, and then they're gonna slag you off for the minute you miss a penalty. They're gonna start cursing you and
Bro,
becoming like you see
there's
the racist
probably
comment.
Iraqi players that were playing. There's probably players on the Italian team that's got Iraqi. Bro, there's probably someone in the Italian squad that's got an Iraqi grandparent.
Yeah, 100%. Have you seen how they look? The majority of them.
Bro, they're mixed. Italian
But
people
the
are
thing,
mixed.
the thing is, you guys, right? It's like I know in America, right? These foreign players, they'll come here specifically because they're high-paying teams. Like, who's that? Oh, I'm trying to remember this.
But Jen, these are
Serbian
teams, you know. They're
basketball
not a
player
national team.
or something. Yeah, but they come here from other countries
Yeah.
because they know that the pay, they're not going to get that pay, and they're not going to get the NBA pay in Serbia playing for a Serbian team.
Yeah,
You
but
know
Jen,
what
you
I'm
got
saying?
it. Yeah, no, Jen, you got it confused because what I'm saying is these players already play for clubs. So, for example, like you look at Pogba, yeah, he already plays for Man United, so he's making millions. I'm not against him coming to for example, to the West to play for a club because why would you deny that opportunity? You can change your life, your family's life, but the national team is a completely different thing. Do you know?
No, it's the same thing. That's what Jen's saying. Jen's saying it's the same thing to you.
No,
She's
Jen, are you
saying it
saying?
on that level.
She's saying the NBA though. She's saying like the NBA.
But it's kind
Yeah,
of,
so
it's
if you
kind of
think
what
of
she's
this
saying.
guy, his name is Luol Deng, right? It's just one of the members I can remember, the names I can remember. He's a Sudanese guy from, I think, Britain who played for Minnesota.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the American team. Like we'll talk about the U.S. national team, for example, the basketball. So I'm not against him going to, for example, the NBA to play for a team and make money. It's for him to go to the U.S. national team and then deny his country.
Oh, like if he played for the U.S. Olympic team.
Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's my point.
My bad.
I think that's why you got it confused. Him playing for a club is normal. Of course, he wants to be successful.
Yeah.
And he's going to go to where opportunity arises.
All right, but let's just rewind it a couple of steps now, yeah. Because back in the days, like I'm gonna just keep it focused on Jamaican players that are in the English squad. Because to me, all these NRX people that would have their little, oh, you're not indigenous English, British, blah blah blah. If England was to win, they wouldn't have a leg to stand on. If England lose, yeah, they use it as a stick to beat them over the head with. So I don't care about NRX people, but my point is this: Jamaica is still got the Queen as head of state, yeah. So when it comes, they've got their own national anthem, they've got their own parliament where they can do a referendum to remove the monarchy and go into a republic, similar to what America is, a republic. But they'll still have an English language and they'll still have an English legal law system. So unless they change the whole language, you can't escape the Queen and the system, yeah. So if someone wants to stay in the system of the Jamaican sports or go into the English sports system, it's still the English system. You get what I'm trying to say to you? It's
Yeah,
still
see what I mean?
the Queen. You know what I'm saying?
Jamaica is a bit of a sticky because it's more it's not as easy. For example, it's more nuanced. You know, it's hard to say, oh, you can play for, because like you said. But I'm talking about, for example, like other African players or anyone. It doesn't matter whatever country you're from. It doesn't have to be an African player. You could be from Asia. Whatever. You should be an asset to your country. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
With Jamaica, it's a bit more difficult.
I get what you're saying. Because I feel with Saka, the guy that's missed the goal and got dragged on the floor.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound evil. I don't want to sound like I'm bullying him. He's only young. I don't want to say anymore.
Yeah.
He's just a young kid. I don't want to criticize him. I feel bad. But I've listened to what you've got to say. I can't say you're chatting rubbish. But he's young, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, but I'm not even focused just like on, for example, Saka. But if you have two people from the same country, one is playing for the national team, and they both, for example, play for the same club. One's playing, but he plays for the national team, and the other one's playing for England. So what's your excuse for not playing for your country? Do you know what I mean? If your fellow countrymen is saying,
bro, I can't say anything. I can't answer the question.
That's what I mean, bro. You understand my point, though.
But I think, look.
See, I'm looking at the USA men's basketball Olympic team right now, and I'm not seeing one white person on there.
Yeah, but
actually, they got a center, Mason Plumlee.
Jen, the African Americans they've been there for like 400 years. You know what I mean? Like they're not just immigrants. Like he just came across, like they came like 10 years ago or something. You know what I mean? They're equally as American as any white person there.
God, this is a tricky, hard conversation.
Shaka, what is that? Fuck Europe.
I want to ask Shaka, actually. I want to see what Shaka says about this. It's going to be interesting.
Look at what Shaka says.
Fuck Europe. Actually,
this is a
Shaka's from Zimbabwe. I want to ask I want to know his opinion on this.
All right. No, I'm listening.
Yeah, Shaka, I was saying, for example, if you have like a football player from Zimbabwe, because I was talking to my mates from Zimbabwe as well, and he agreed with me as well. He said, for example, any player should go back.
Hold up. I think Zimbabwe's played in the World Cup, so you picked the wrong
what World
country.
Cup? What World Cup?
1990.
No, but I'm talking about hypothetical situations.
Years ago.
You're talking about, for example, a player from Zimbabwe. He plays for a club in England. Sorry, just to like yeah. Would you want him rather to play for Zimbabwe or to play for England and as the national team?
For economy purposes, I would say encourage him to kind of play for this. Play for if he's got English, what's it called? Actually,
no, but he plays for a club, so he's getting paid a lot anyway. You know, he's not broke.
Which club? Name a club. Make one up.
He's playing for Chelsea.
Oh,
he's playing for Chelsea.
If he was born in this country and the culture is in this country, then yeah. But if you're not born here, you can't really just say you can't really just. I don't.
No, should he play for Chelsea and Zimbabwe or Chelsea and England? That's what he's asking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He already plays for Chelsea, so he's making good money regardless.
What do you want him to do?
I don't see why he would play for England.
There you go. That's my point. You see what I mean? That's my point. Like you're already playing for a big club. You're making a lot of money regardless.
Are you saying that if Zimbabwe qualified and they've got a good manager and they've got a good chance, or are you just saying that?
No, I'm just saying why is he playing for England anyway? Like he ain't English.
Yeah, that's what
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not saying anything.
I mean, unless he grow up here and it's like, this is my country, or that shit, then I'll say, blessing it, dude. That's you, innit? You're British, you're English and that shit. But if he ain't, then I'll be like, well, this ain't your people.
What if England was paying more and more successful, and there wasn't a very good chance of? He didn't know for sure whether Zimbabwe is going to qualify. He didn't really know, and they weren't going to make him the star player. There was no guarantee in his contract that he was going to be up front or midfield. He might have had to be defense. Whereas if he played for England.
But it's big. It's not just. It's bigger than deeper than just playing for England. Is deeper than just because it's paying in it. It's not that. It's not just based on that. It's based on a lot of things.
But I'm looking at your DP. It's hilarious. Man, fuck you, Europe.
Yeah.
So I guess you voted Brexit then.
Me, I don't vote for this country. I don't do that shit.
So what you saying, Chuck, about that Italy win, bro?
Pardon?
What
I
you
already
saying about
knew that
that
anyway.
Italy
Even when
win?
England scored, I said Italy's gonna win. They just look more confident.
Fuck. I'm very simple. I'm a very simple man. Fuck both of them.
That's very.
Nah, I got to big up the Italian
Oh,
goalkeeper.
come on,
He was
Shaka.
amazing. That Italian goalkeeper was solid.
Now he was a sick goalie in it, but I
He was
can't.
a really good goalkeeper.
How can you say that was a sick goalie at the same time as cussing both teams? That's not fair.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna judge. Was he a good footballer? Yes.
You know what it is with Shaka? He hates everyone. He hates everyone equally. So
Shaka just ain't
Yeah.
doing it for GP. Like he's not on that shit, man. He's
Like, someone
consistent
can be
though.
a
I like
good
that.
footballer
He's
and still,
consistent.
like Ibrahimovic is a good player, but I always say fuck him in it. Like how his energy and his character, I don't fuck with his energy and character. You get me? So
my
fuck
black
him.
mate was
He's a
pissed,
good-
yeah, because they put the 3 black players at the end, and he said basically my black mate was saying that they did it, yeah, in case if England loses, they take all the heat, you know. Like they made it like strategically, so they put all the 3 black players at the end to take the penalty. Especially they put Saka, who is 19, as the most important and the most.
No, but
important
he was
penalty.
playing in the He played in extra time. Let's be fair. Can we be fair here, please? Saka
bro,
just is young. He's young. Look, if he was my little brother, I'd be saying, look, leave my little brother. He's just done something I couldn't even dream of. Let's clap our hands for him. He's been at Wembley. Big him up. The youth had a mental breakdown on the pitch, and I'm not laughing at it. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
100%.
I'm not laughing.
No one's taking the piss out of him, but we're saying the
Today,
most
that
important
was
penalty.
today.
Yeah,
that
it
was
today,
in the
yeah.
game. The game. He tried his best. I was
That's
young
what-
once. He tried his
100%, bro.
best.
No one can ever slag him off. But the point is, the last penalty should be taken by someone more experienced. You know what I mean?
Yes, you're right. I'm not. I never said anything against that. You're right. I'm just trying to just be like extra like. I'm normally strong in my opinions, but I've learned.
Oh,
On
no one can
these
slag him
YouTube
off. At
places.
19, he's doing
Yeah.
he's playing amazing.
Yeah,
He's
I've
playing-
learned on these YouTube streets. There's nothing wrong with being nice every now and again. Do you know what I mean? Not everything's
100%.
critical.
Saka was talented, man. Saka was
Yeah,
talented.
let's just give him
All
a
of them,
round
all
of
the
applause.
Of course, he's talented, bro. He's playing. He's at 19.
All
He's
of
playing
them.
for the team, and he's playing for the
19
final.
years old, bruv. If I was out there, I don't even know if I could even. I can't even imagine
The pressure.
the level of pressure, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Look, my youth came on. There was older players getting tired. Let's talk about Maguire. Maguire and his big forehead and him drop on floor and acting stupid and walking around looking like a wet blanket. He should have got substituted long time. Yeah, let's talk about Grealish. Grealish, he wants to be a little black boy, a little roughneck, Irish, Scottish, whatever he is, with his ponytail trying to be David Beckham. You know what I mean, with his hairband. Yeah, man, try to stamp on his knee to say they study the team. They know who's who. They know Grealish is down with the Eminem wannabe. You know what I'm saying, down with the kneeling.
So
Man,
what happened? He got kicked in the knee?
He got stamped on his left knee and then damages. What kind of
When?
knee
Like-
maneuver? In the second half of the extra time, one of your captain of your Italian team, the tall guy, the bald, horrible one, Pellini or whatever his name is, the same one that dragged Saka by his collar and dashed him on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Big old
When I
40-year-old
saw that,
man.
I was like, raw. Yeah, it was mad. He dragged him.
Big, tall, 40-year-old crackhead-looking Italian man going on reckless, and the referees are just turning a blind eye in there. Pink.
What
In
was
their
it, like
little
a
pink
fight?
tutus.
Like a fight?
No, it's not a fight. It was just aggressive, very aggressive. You know what I mean? And I'm the type of
So
player
they
that I
get
used to
fouled
play.
for that. Do they get like fouled out or something?
Yeah, he did.
He got a yellow card.
He got a
He
yellow
should have
card.
got a red. They should have been 10 players rather than 11. Like that squad was going on nasty. You know what I'm saying? They was beating up our players, and I think our players are so civilized and try to play so nicey. If I was on that pitch, I would have just been jabbing people in their shoulders, boxing them on the floor. I would have got a red card and sent off, and I wouldn't give a shit. You know
You see
what
that
I'm saying?
second goal as well. You see the Italian goal. Harry Kane was responsible for that. He played him onside. Harry Kane was literally in the goal, yeah, and he played that play onside.
Didn't position himself in the right place.
exactly. If he
position.
wasn't
But
there,
then our goalkeeper's gay. Nothing against. Like, I'm not trying to bully gay
Pickford,
people.
yeah.
If you're gay and you're cool and you don't you're not like a softie and you don't cry all the time,
Actually,
you're probably, you know what I mean, probably cool, yeah. But like this goalkeeper just seemed a bit too like he had Vaseline on his gloves and he was just too much for me. You You know what I mean? Like he was just doing too much hair flicking,
Yeah,
and I was
Butterfingers.
just like, "What's going on? Yeah, what's going on with this youth? He's gonna make this is a national game. This ain't a game with the the local lads down the local park. This is a big fucking
You
game.
see my,
Can we get
point though, bro? You see my point. You're making my point for me earlier because I was saying, yeah, look, none of these guys are gonna get slagged off. For example, in the game, yeah, against Denmark, Sterling was the man of the match. He played the best. But then the titles, yeah, on the newspapers was all Harry Kane, Harry Kane, Harry
Kane?
Kane.
Yeah, but we know
Yeah.
this. We know this. We know how
He
he is.
he gets
We know
all
how
the credit, and then Sterling gets put to the side.
Same thing happened to Ronaldo. That's why Ronaldo left and went back to where there's brown people when he
Yep.
used to play for Man U. And then Alex Ferguson tried dash a shoe at a couple players because he's got his favourite boys. Look at who was hosting the BBC One show. Gary Lineker with his fucking fake tan and don't get me started being a hater because people just be like, "Oh, Red's the hater." I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be nice. You know what I'm saying? But like Rio Ferdinand looked like he been taking bleaching tablets. You know what I'm saying? And his
It's sad, bro.
brethren,
Yeah, it's sad.
Lampard.
Yeah, yeah. There's
You
even
know
like
what
a
I'm saying?
culture where you know you have to have a white girlfriend
Frank
or
Bruno.
something for you.
From Frank
Yeah,
Bruno. That's what me say from Frank Bruno time, 1987, whatever
you
it
have to
was,
have this white. Yeah,
86.
yeah. As a
Yeah.
footballer, for you to be successful, like
Well, your agent hooks you up. Your agent is the one that hooks you up
yeah,
and tells
yeah.
you how to spend your money and gets you an account and all that. So they're trapped in a system. They
100%.
are.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
man, look, big up any African youth that wants to play for England. I ain't here to tell an African youth, no, if you want to play for Senegal or Zimbabwe, I will rate you. I will buy your T-shirt when you're playing in the World Cup if my team don't qualify, and I'll wear your name on my back. But if you want to play for England, I'm still gonna I'm not gonna hate on you and try and tear you down.
Yeah,
'Cause
bro, that's my point
you know
as
what I mean?
well. That's my
Yeah.
point. That's the same thing with my point as well. That's my point as well. If you so at the end of the day, it's your choice. But I was just saying, yeah, you're more gonna be respected playing for your own team. You know, you're not gonna get this.
No, because if they won, brother, if Saka scored and we was all singing, it would be it's coming home, and it would be a whole conversation about how we're gonna remove the vaccine and COVID. You know what I'm saying? It's a systematic thing. It's political. Like 1 minute it's talking about Prince George in the stand and all kind of rare tear. It's a political thing. Even the way they was playing, like just trying to secure the draw or trying to secure the 1-0. Do you know what I mean? They weren't trying to attack.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
That's
look,
the problem.
it's just a style of play that needs to be looked at. Gareth Southgate's coming. He understands the younger man. Them. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of man that's Gareth Southgate's in his 40s. There's a lot of 40-year-olds that are stuck in their ways and are the reason why the UK is fucked. Because we've got politicians in their 40s like Matt Hancock, politicians in their 50s like Boris Johnson, who are not in touch with your generation at all. But Gareth Southgate seemed to come in with this kneeling thing and bang it on the head and say, "Listen, these young boys, I got brown people on the team. You can't tell me nothing. I know them, and if they want to kneel, they're kneeling. Get over it. We've got a game to play." So I will forever respect him for going to the press and dealing with it and saying, if you want to boo, if you want to be part of the boo boys, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? You can boo. We're taking the knee. So for me, we won because we've got a decent manager, and at the end of the day, next year's the World Cup, and they can learn from that loss in their city, in North London, in England, and they're gonna have to come back harder because you can't lose like that and not come back harder. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to every night have a goal in their garden and be taking penalties in their goal. You know what I'm saying? Every time they're in
Problem though,
training.
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
They score and they just settle for that 1-0. You know, they don't try and push for that second goal. This is the problem with England. They just score and then that's it. They
Nah,
try and
there's a
hold.
system. You already know because you've told the truth. You've exposed the system 5 times already. There's a
Yeah.
system. There's a system. And at the end of the day, if you go against the system, you're going to end up like Ronaldo. You know what I'm saying? You're going to end up
Yeah.
ostracized. You're going to end up. Do you want to fight the press by yourself, or do you want Gareth Southgate to go and talk to the press for you? Do you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
that's
but
the
bro, they're gonna
safe
do it
position.
regardless. That's the problem.
Nah,
Like,
there's not. They can't go. They can't. If what the press have been doing when all of our Premier League teams is getting rid of managers. Ain't you noticed? Look at Man United. It's in a mess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Twitter. Yeah, they can't do that to Gareth. Gareth is modern. He's your first modern manager of the country. He represents what new white people in England, Scotland, and Wales how they have to speak in corporate Britain. Because before him, they was all doing nudge, nudge, wink, wink, meet me at the pub for your promotion. Gareth Southgate is an above board kind of. He's got a natural style about him, and he's a little bit like Jeremy Corbyn. He's a little bit like radical, and he's not scared to tell the older generation of racists to go fuck themselves and take a seat and sit the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's perfect. He's not perfect, but he's something new. There's a change going on. You know what I'm saying? And the younger players, they respect him, and as long as they respect him, they might do well next year in the World Cup. You know what I'm saying?
Rick
Because it's a
Golden,
two-way thing.
can I ask you a question quickly? I was wondering, can you know the people that were booing, like when the players were kneeling? Do you think they're racist?
I don't think. No, look, I think it's more than that. That's the thing. What my point is, anything that, for example, they feel like this is being pushed on them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not convinced for something, and then someone's trying to push this on you, what you're gonna do is you're gonna resist him. Like, you're gonna rebel even more. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe they thought so an issue like, for example, BLM, they might have not even cared that much. But now that it's inside their football team, and they're seeing that even the white players are forced to do it, it's going to cause even more backlash. They're going to feel like, oh, look what they're doing now. We don't even have our control of our own football team. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's going to cause a minor issue. It's going to become a major issue.
It's the press trying to run the team, and the press, including the Daily Mail and the BBC, they think that they the Sun, all of it. They felt like they could control Gareth Southgate and make him into a puppeteer, and he has to listen. He has to take on point on what the pundits say. He has to take it on board, but at the same time, he has to be a man and manage the team, and not be some pussy-hole that just is scared and trying to be popular and trying to be like our politicians that the majority of the country have voted for. All the rich people in our country are voting for snakes, and because they've got the power, they control the suffering for the poor people. But Gareth Southgate came in with a radical idea that, do you know what? My team is diverse. I've played football with other black lads. I've got black friends. I'm not like David Beckham. I'm going to be me. I'm not going to buckle down to what the media or these yobs in the crowd are trying to tell me how to do my job. I'm going to do my job how I'm going to do my job, because I got the job myself. It weren't the yobs. It weren't the press. It was me that got my job. So he came in there.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was gonna say, the kneeling, like, what was the purpose of it?
Do you know what? The purpose of the kneeling is you have to speak to Rashford, you have to speak to Sterling, and I asked them as black men, what do they know? The guy from America that started it off, that was the football player. Now his name's gone out of my head, and I feel like an idiot because I know,
but Colin Kaepernick. I remember hearing it 5 years ago.
But this is what I'm saying.
Colin Kaepernick's like a mixed race guy, right? Like he's a rich guy. Yeah,
his family, apparently he's been adopted by a family from San Francisco. Like that.
Also, don't get it twisted. The media represents a large majority of people. Do you know what I mean? They won't be writing these titles, and if they don't have an audience to appease to. Do you know what I mean? Or so you have to understand
I disagree with that. I studied
Can I tell you
it.
something? Do you think the football?
No, hold up 1 second, because I've got to just let him know that you've got to look at the figureheads, because the world's got kind of smaller. So you've got to look at the figureheads that run the organization. Every company is connected. It's almost like a royal family pyramid. Every company is connected, So there's a shortage of channels like Jen. This channel that Jen's doing is part of the YouTube family, but it's totally independent. So we've got freedom of speech here to a point. But what you're reading in the newspaper is totally different to what Jen's doing. You know what I'm saying? This is why we're on her channel and we're not phoning in the local radio station. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask a question? Sorry, like another question. Do you think the football is being used as a political tool or something like that? Because I believe it is, to some extent.
It's part of the system, brother. It's part of the system. That's all I can say to you. And at the end of the day, I'm not here.
What system is
the system? The British English sporting system.
Now, all I'm
Okay?
saying is, do you think there's like a high elite people, like from Islington,
Brother.
like it's like
Yeah, but do you know what is
follow
what
the
really
high
Prince William and Kate Middleton was sat in the royal box at Wembley. That should answer your question. Yeah. They was there to hand out a trophy if it came to England. It went to Italy. The fireworks went off. Wembley
Yeah, but everyone
Stadium.
has their duties. That's the thing. Yeah, they're all being told what to do anyway,
yeah.
regardless. But my point is, I feel like that mostly why it wouldn't work. For example, the kneeling in sports. Look, you're talking to football hooligans who are not the most civilized, not the most educated bunch. You know what I mean? Majority of them are going to be racist, and they're not going to represent your ordinary English person. That goes to work and stuff like that. You're talking about football hooligans who are already racist anyway, so they're not going to appeal to that. They're not going to be like, they're not going to accept that regardless. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's why you hear the
You're
booing and all
forgetting
that.
about the campaign "Kick Racism Out of Football," which was on the billboards around Edge. You're also forgetting about the bans and the strikes that a lot of these football hooligans who used to go just not even to sit in the stadium, to stand outside the stadiums and fight each other. A lot of them have got lifetime bans for doing silly things like throwing bananas on the pitch. That's a lifetime ban from football.
even coins as
But-
well at
You know
referees.
what I'm saying?
What is up
Point.
with
You know
the?
what
What
I'm
is
saying?
up with that? Like, what is the correlation with that? Is it just like because I've heard a lot of like stories about like these football hooligans and they're like Tommy Robinson supporters. Like, what is like who wants it with Millwall? Like, what is shit like that? Like, what's
That's
all
old
that? Is
stuff.
it
That,
just
that's
culture
old
that-
stuff
yeah.
to do with
just
like
a rivalry or something?
yeah, it's old stuff like the film Grease, Lightning. It's just old, and it's really old. It's not the guys that you got on your show right now. They're from the new generation. They're online. Yeah, they're more sophisticated. They can probably fight, but they're more intelligent. You know what I'm saying there's just a whole new generation of Brits and English people out there. But the ones that get all the publicity from people like Rupert Murdoch, who's Australian, and I don't even think he lives in our country, but he controls most of our media. This is what I'm saying. When it comes to the kneeling subject, it was political. Straight, it was simply political, a political thing, and it's beyond me to even be that research on to explain it. But what I will say is that it was something that I respect Gareth Southgate's stance against, because his stance spoke volumes to me. It just said his stance said, "I'm the leader. I'm in control. I know my team. This is how it's going." You know what I'm saying? And to me, I respect people like that.
No, but I respect that. That's what I'm saying.
I read
respect
somewhere that 5 Italian players took the knee as well during that game.
Good. Big them up.
I think
And
it's a way to.
you should have named them, Jen, as well, because we won't know who they are now. I'm saying.
It's in one of the articles about the game.
Do you think?
Go ahead.
Thanks. Do you think that the people that are kneeling, do you think they're virtue signaling?
I can't speak for the experience of the people who are kneeling. I wish I could. I wish I was.
I feel that. I do feel that.
If I was younger, I would have answered you like I knew exactly what was going in their head because we share the same colour skin. Now I'm older, I've realised that I could perceive Sterling in a way that I perceive him based on conversation with my dad, based on stuff I've read on Wikipedia. But I really and truly don't know that guy. And I don't know what triggers him. I don't know how conscious he is of his culture or you know, how I don't even know who he's got in his Instagram as his friend. He could be best friends. He could be friends with quite a lot of Americans, like Colin Kaepernick. You know what
I
I'm saying?
understand, but the thing is,
you know what I'm
a
saying?
lot of black people in the UK, they don't support BLM. And don't like
Nah,
kneeling.
do you know what it is though? I feel like, look, I'm not
I
questioning
think,
the black
I think it's a class thing. I think it's a class
I
thing.
feel like the white players are virtue signaling, if anything, because I feel like they're just following a trend. You know, they feel like oh, they have to do it.
Well,
Do you
at
know what I'm
that point, yeah, exactly. At that point, you have to. Imagine every black person on
Yeah.
the team is kneeling and you're standing there like a white
exactly.
racist.
You're scared of the
Like,
black.
exactly like a white racist.
You're doing it out of pressure. Because are you convinced this of it yourself, or are you doing it out of pressure? That's my question.
Yeah,
I remember
nobody wants to
happening
be
in
the last white man
2016. I remember happening in 2016 when it came to, you know, the Colin Kaepernick situation, or that you had NFL players or NBA players, like particularly the white ones. If they, you know, if they were standing up and you know, were singing the anthem and stuff like that, they were criticized and stuff like that. And I think for me, when you're looking at the whole Colin Kaepernick situation for the last 5 years, and I think that I think politics entered sports, and it's detrimental because it actually affects the companies.
But everything
in America, it's been linked.
Because
Brother,
at the end
everything
of the
in our
day,
country
people need
is
to understand. At the end
political.
of the day, in the US, a lot of people that go to NBA games, NFL games, they're not liberal people.
But
They're
Ozzy, can I
mostly
just say something
conservative
to you? Yeah, Ozzy, we live in a country of a monarchy with several castles around the Kingdom of England. Yeah, we live in a class society. But what Tony Blair said, we live in a class of society. We live in a society dominated by class. Yeah, and nowadays it's very hard to maneuver from class without marrying out of your race or marrying into money or doing some kind of Illuminati ritual. So at the end of the day, yeah, this whole system that we're living in, the George Floyd situation kicked off in the middle of a lockdown. Then Sarah Everard got killed by a police officer in the middle of a lockdown. And some people are politicizing BLM in their own individual fucked upness conscious state to say fuck you to anyone that they feel is oppressing them. And if Sterling or you or the lady next door wants to just say fuck you every 5 minutes or once or twice a week, who am I to tell her, no, calm down, be British, and stop saying fuck you? If she wants to fucking burn her bra and throw it on the fucking barbecue, let her. Because if it makes her happy, then it makes her happy. And that's my kind of way of looking at it. Yes, it's a black lesbian. It's a black lesbian movement sponsored by Jules Soros. It's heavily engaged in LGBT.
Heavily Marxist.
I wouldn't say Marxist. It's because you've got to remember socialism and Marxism and communism. They're three separate things. But the lesbian, ultra neo-Nazi, neo-feminist movement is something it's a movement all to itself. It's about creating families with two women and using IVF and educating the child that it's normal to have two mothers, and that's a whole global movement. And women,
bro, you saw it in the
lesbians,
game. You saw it in the game. The rainbow flags everywhere.
but the lesbian mothers in Britain have more parental rights than single fathers who are not on the birth certificate or who are not married. If you impregnate a lesbian who's married to a woman, you're not allowed to put your name on the birth certificate because her wife becomes the father of your child, or the other parent of your child. And a single mother living in a social housing, if you've broken up with your baby mother and she's gone to the council and she says, right, I don't have a man in my life and I need to be housed. I've got two children and I don't have a job. She'll get housed before you do. You'll be on the street, and then she can move a girlfriend into her house, a lesbian, and start a relationship around your children. And the police will arrest you if you try to do anything crazy, or you won't be able to say she's an unfit mother and get your kids out of there. You just won't. So the English laws, the system we live in, is already got enshrined in law, rules to protect lesbians and then obviously gays. And even the royal family has written in that if Prince George turns out to be gay, he can still be king. So this LGBT movement is a global
Is
thing.
that actually proof? Is that actually concrete proof to suggest that statement is true?
The Queen changed the rules just like her dad changed the rules that a woman could be the Queen of England. We're allowed to have a gay monarchy. Queen Elizabeth changed it before she died. She's made sure she's covered it on all angles. If George is straight, he can be king. If he's gay, he can be king. If it was a girl that was born first, she could be queen. You know what I'm saying? So this is just how the system is. Gays have been in the system.
I would think that she's
It's bigger than her. It's bigger than her. That's the thing.
Yeah, I would think that she's a conservative person, an old-fashioned type person.
It can never happen because she's the head of the church as well.
No, the church has got gay priests. The Church of England has got about 20 gay priests on Instagram
Exactly.
right now.
How many people hate the priests? Majority of Catholics would tell you straight away they hate the priests.
Oh, they're Christian. They're not Catholic.
Who are you talking about?
The Church of England is Christian. The Church of England is broken away from the Italian church. That's why you had that show on BBC, The Vicar of Dibley, with the lesbian priest or the fat funny comedian who was trying to have her.
You're looking at the leaders. You're looking at political leaders, and they represent. The thing is bigger than that. Then the national team represents more than Gareth Southgate. It represents around 50 million, 60 million people and their views. So you saying to like, oh, because Gareth Southgate says something does not necessarily mean it could be 90% of the country disagrees with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Equally, and if the Queen
He's
says,
paid
oh, there
his
could be a
dues.
gay king.
He's paid his dues to be in that position. You cannot be the England manager without playing for England and earning caps and ticking all these boxes and meeting the Queen and getting a sword by your ear. He's done everything, and the thing is, he's respectable. That's all the point I'm trying to make. He's
Oh yeah,
respectable and
100%,
honest.
100%. But
Because
bro, if
there's
you
guys
push an
that's done
agenda,
that job that's older than him in the past that have been outright racist, and they haven't said it to the press. They haven't even given an interview, but they've done racial things, blatantly racial things, like put a black player on for 2 minutes, get him off, put a white player on, or get a black player just to score one goal when they're losing, and then take him back off.
Isn't it part of the job though? Like, isn't that not racist?
What, racism?
It might not be racist. It could be part of the job and all that. Like, you know.
Well,
no. My point is that a lot of the things are bigger than like these individuals, like Gareth Southgate, or even the Queen of England. Yeah, the most powerful woman. Even if she says, "Oh, there's a gay king," you guarantee, a lot. Like I would say to you, about 80% of the English people would disagree with that. They would not allow.
Because they've been, if you send your child to school today, and what they're going to learn in sex education? How to bum, how to get bummed, how to fuck a vagina, and how to, I don't know, suck a dick. They're going to be teaching your kids.
That's my point.
But they're already getting the generation from the year 2007 prepared for any gay prime ministers, gay kings, gay upper class gays, because the upper class gays have always been here. You know what I'm saying? Lord Mountbatten was gay. He had sex with Prince Charles. There's been dozens of gay princes and gay kings that nobody knew of, and it came out after they died. So they've changed the rule because they're sick and tired of hiding it. And plus, with the internet, you can't hide it. You can't hide it with the internet. So just change the law, innit? Change the law, make gay okay, because with photography and mobile phones and spies, you cannot hide any of that, and it protects the upper class. In the 1990s, the Conservative government had a load of bisexual MPs that were getting caught in toilets and parks with young rent boys, and now they've just made it legal. David Cameron made it legal to get married, so you've got like 20 gay MPs in the Houses of Parliament who are out and proud and got boyfriends and married.
To be fair, that's two different things. That's two different things. Though. You're talking about MPs engaging in sex with underage children.
No, it wasn't underage. It was Conservative Britain, John Major's government, and they were married to women and they were going to parks and toilets and living a double life. So what they did is
you got confused. You mean they're doing they're pedophiles, basically going to young boys.
Some of them, no. Lord Boothby was Ted Heath was Ted Heath was the Prime Minister in the 70s. Lord Boothby knew the Cray twins, but the guys I'm talking about in the 1990s under after Margaret Thatcher stood down and John Major took over, Rupert Murdoch outed about 6 Conservative MPs for being undercover battymen, and then Tony Blair took over from the Conservatives, and in 1997 he got voted in as the fresh face of politics, new Labour, honest politics, things can only get better. He had a pop song, a dance song, and everybody voted in him because it was like, yeah, get rid of the old stuffy Conservatives. And now the Conservatives are back in, and what they've done is they've just changed the laws so they can do things like what Matt Hancock did, kissing his mistress at work, and get away with it, and no one complained.
But bro, see, my point here was there's a lot of people in the majority that are just silent, and there's an agenda being pushed on them. Like the government was pushing for the UK to remain within the EU, but it was a surprise. No one even believed that the UK would actually exit. Even David Cameron did the poll, thinking that he was so confident that the UK would vote to remain. But no, Brexit actually ended up happening. Even Trump, no one even knew, for example, Trump.
They did expect it because there's a radio station called LBC, which started off being called London's Biggest Conversation. Then it changed to a national station. Then they got the guy, what's his name, the Brexit guy, Nigel Farage, to be a host on it.
UKIP,
and he was part of UKIP, and they was doing that to make Tommy Robinson's voice smaller and make sure that someone from the private educated sector of the system was able to get involved and lobby to get Brexit done. Yeah.
But why do you think David Cameron quit after Brexit? Because he wasn't expecting it. That's the thing. He didn't want the
No,
backlash from
because he one of his friends leaked a story about him in a book he published about him doing rituals at university involving a pig, and then one of the Labour MPs called him Sleazy Dave in the Houses of Parliament, and
Dodgy
it
Dave, he called
damaged
him.
Oh, Dodgy Dave.
Dodgy Dave.
Dodgy
Yeah.
Dave, and it ruined his reputation completely. It completely destroyed his political conservative, I'm so squeaky clean image. It just threw it down the toilet. And he was secretly a Brexit lobbyist as well, undercoverly. Yeah, just like he was secretly supporting the gay agenda, just like Tony Blair secretly supported it and lowered the age of consent from 21 to 16. Yeah, and you have to ask yourself, why would he do something like that? Who was he protecting?
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was 21.
It was 21 to get bummed, and they moved it down to 16. And it used to be lower in places like Spain and Italy, and then they have to push it up because there's a big secret kind of, well, it's not secret. There's a system of nastiness in Europe which they've tried to cover up by changing the laws. If you listen to what I'm telling you and do your research, you will see it links in with other stories that you'll find on the internet and videos on YouTube. They've had to kind of polish up their laws so they can still do certain things and get away with it and make it look like they're decent people when they're not.
Well, it says it was done in 1885. It was raised to 16.
No,
In
it's
the
1999. Tony Blair.
the Criminal Amendment Act 1985 raised it to 16 because apparently 1875 it was 13, and in 1275 it was the age of 12.
Are you talking about Italy or Spain, or are you
No,
talking
I'm talking
about
about UK.
And you're talking about the age of consent?
Yeah, because it says Britain and Ireland, and 10 years later, the Criminal Law Amendment Act 1885 raised it to 16.
1885. You could no. There was that. There's no way that you no. That's not. Where did you
Look,
read
you
that?
just Google it. It says when did the age of consent become 16? The age of sexual
No,
consent was
the gay age of consent. Gay.
Oh,
same.
okay, yeah, that's okay.
It got
I
lowered in
Why would it be
1999
different? Why would it be
because
different?
it was seen as buggery and it was a crime in the 1960s, and you could get.
Oh, so they
sense now.
decriminalized it, but the consent age is still the same, right? For men and women.
For men and women, it was always that 16, but for men, it was 21. But in 1999, they brought it down to 16 for men because a lot of the politicians were into. They had to protect their own class, the upper class. There were a lot of upper class lawyers and upper class sports people, upper class celebrities that were going to nightclubs, and people were lying about their age, saying they're 22 when they was 18. So they had to kind of put the brakes on any more news exposés and bring the age to 16. So then they can be protected.
I didn't even know they had 2 ages of consent. That's mad.
Of course they did. It was not that shit was not looked at decently in London in them days. It wasn't.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
it wasn't cool.
Now it's completely the opposite.
Now
if you
the
have
system,
the other views, you get the other one who's in the you're the minority.
Well, because it's a new religion that they're pushing in. It's a systematic way of life that will be normalized in 30 years.
Someone is saying it's 18 now, apparently, in the UK.
For what?
I think what you're saying for actual
No, I think that's if you're a teacher and you taught that person at school and then you left the school or something like that. Yeah,
That's disturbing as well. To be fair.
Oi,
But
James,
these
come
things
through,
happen,
paisano. Sorry. Carry on.
But yeah, I'm gonna go anyway because it's getting late.
Big up, bro. Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, man, good conversation. I'll let you lot carry on.
Always welcome. Feel free to come back.
Yeah, man, take it easy.
All right. Have a good night. Thanks. It should be 21 to 25, in my opinion. You know what? For the way that like the generation is so immature, like I feel like I don't know, like when I was in high school, right? Like the guys that were in high school, they seemed like more mature, like men, instead of like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
high schoolers now, like the guys who are in high schoolers now, they seem like little tiny, like boy, like they're little scrawny little kids. Like I don't know if it's just maybe
That's
because I
that's same
got
thing with me as
older,
well. When I
but
was in school, it's just like that as well. When I compared myself at the same like age, the
hmm
people like our age, we were a lot more mature. Like you see some people even like facial
that's
hair
what
and
I'm
stuff.
saying. Yeah, we were working, we had cars, we were freaking out, man. Like these kids
Yeah.
they don't have that drive. Like I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I gotta shoot, man. Bless up everyone. Thank you for having me
Big
again.
up, Meso. Big up,
Take care.
bro. Who's in the back? James Jones, yeah. What's up, James? How goody, bro? The Paisanos did it in, huh?
Yeah, man. It's a bit sweet, innit?
Hey.
But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that that England lost. I'm just sad the way they lost. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's fucked up.
I know, man. It had to be fucking. Yeah, but whatever. Anyway, yeah. Either way, if I would have taken, I would have taken a loss at the beginning of the game. So. But yeah, I ain't even got. You know what? Though, Jen, I'm gonna give you some advice. Yeah, I don't. Obviously, I got. I'm watching finals. I'm watching Bucks and Suns. Yeah, but I feel like Red
Guys,
Golden.
guys, I'm gonna go.
Guys, I need the water. Nadine.
Big up, Ozzy.
All right, take care.
Yeah, big up. But yeah, you can't really big me up around that Red Golden girl there. I think that he gets upset and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So you gotta be neutral sometimes and not. Do you know what I mean?
I'm neutral.
No,
What do you mean? I pick both of you guys up. Like, what are you talking
yeah,
about?
no, what I'm saying, because you know what? If you didn't say that, if you didn't big me up and tell me to jump on, he would have stayed. And obviously, because I can't stay for long, I don't want to like kill the show. And I'm just trying to. I'm giving you advice. Would you like me to tell you privately instead?
No, that's all good, man. I don't think that's it, man. It's late over there, right? 9, 10, 11, 12,
No, yeah, but that guy doesn't do it.
3:30?
Yeah, he doesn't do anything.
Man, you guys leave
He
your
hasn't got a reason to wake up early, trust me.
allow your beef.
There's no, that was it. Don't you hear my voice? There's absolutely no beef. I was just dropping by, just like I was we're having a chat. And you said what you said, and then he wanted to leave. I almost wanted to say to you, don't say that, because I wasn't even going to jump on anyway. I only jumped on because when he left.
See, I like to think my channel can be a place where people who don't usually get along can come and just get along. Like, look, I had Reactionary and Raj together on the panel, and they were totally civil, no fuckery, no nothing. Like, it was just totally chill.
I mean, what's mad is if I can remember, it's a bit hazy, but from what I can remember, the other day he jumped onto 9 started threatening me, calling me a sellout, a bitch, a pussy, all type of shit. He said I was fat, he beat me up, all this weirdo kind of shit. I don't even know who. That's what I'm saying. I honestly don't know who he is. And what's even more weird now is that he's terrified of sharing a panel with me. When he jumped on to like insult me and fucking, I don't know, like, so I listen, I'm indifferent either way. I could share a panel with anyone.
You did something to piss him off.
Bro, you know how it goes, man. You know how it goes on these weird things. Everyone just hates and loves each other in equal measure, bro. It's strange. But yeah, you didn't even watch the game, did you?
Nah.
You're not a real Italian.
Nah, I tried to like search it, but I don't have like cable like that, so I don't know. It was like I couldn't find it on YouTube playing, so I don't know. This I really wouldn't really care anyway. I was just doing this shit to troll you guys for the last couple days.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you couldn't do that to John. I've supported Italy since I was a kid. To be honest, it's weird. It's very strange why I support Italy. I don't know. I think I got a kit when I was a kid. Someone bought me one of those the Kappa jerseys, and I supported them. And my favorite player was an Italian. He was an Italian striker. Del Piero was my favorite player as a kid. But I supported Juventus and the Italian national team when I was a child for some weird reason. But I would have supported anyone against England, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just hate the manager.
Okay.
But yeah, hey, red golden girl, Puppet Boy, jump back on because I'm gonna leave, my guy. Don't disrespect Jen's panel because I know you're gonna want to jump back on there again in the future.
Nah, it's all good, man. I'm not holding it. You fucking with this guy, man. I'll probably just cut it anyway. So,
All right.
yeah,
But listen,
man,
next time you see me in the chat, you know the thing already. I do not need it. No, I'm being honest. I don't.
Last time, oh my God, James. Last time, man, you wildin', bro.
What? What's wrong?
Last time you're like, oh, you didn't pick me up. You didn't say you don't.
When did
okay.
you know I'm not that dude. If I say that, I'm fucking you. I may say it again. I don't know. All right, okay. New advice. Read the room better then. That's what
all right. I got you.
So when you're in a room full of people that like James Jones, I'd expect a big up. If there's anyone that's not up, I expect you to be diplomatic. There you go, yeah.
You know, though, like I'm kind of like that person. You know what I'm saying? Like if people was like dissing you earlier, and I was like, yeah, pick up James Jones, man. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like that kind of. I don't like that shit, man. Like if you're gonna pick up someone, like say it with your fucking chest. You know.
But at the same time, though, like if you're cool with
I always
someone,
big you guys up like when they're talking shit on Faz's or they hate me for that shit. They're like, why you come around here picking up G Block?
yeah, but you know what though? You know what though? Unless it's clearly a lie or whatever, I don't think the big up is necessary. I think it's clearly a lie or something like. If someone says a lie and you don't, or something about the person you don't agree with, say I don't agree with that shit, but it's like it makes the. Do you know what though? I don't want it to be serious, but just in general, the way I see things is like, if that person is my enemy and you're chilling with my enemy, you've already done something wrong by just being around them, right? So it makes no sense to go big me up. But if that person is my enemy and you're chilling with them and they're lying about me, and then you say, no, I know that's not the case. That's the best thing you can do as like my friend. But like saying big up is pointless. Yeah. Like you're around the person I don't like anyway. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I don't care. I'm not saying you should.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. No. You can be neutral, bro. Like not everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's people you don't like probably that I would say I like and that I'm cool with. Do you know what I mean? So it's not. I just we don't feel like you need to. But listen, game's going on. But if you're still on a bit, I might jump back on. If not, big up. Sorry for ruining the show. It seems like I've done again. Sorry, kid.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to your channel and say, like, you know, and it says "do not recommend" or "not interested."
Wow.
No. To say, bro, I'm sacrificing myself to save you.
Man, fuck that shit, man. You jump on whenever the fuck you want to.
This is like in a battle or something. I'm like, I'd take him with the C4 and I'm like, go, Jen, just leave. Just leave. Get out of here. Get out while you still can.
Nah, see, I'll ride the fence till it collapses, you know?
Do you have to say pause? You have to say pause, right?
Oh shit, not like that. Yeah.
No
Sit
homo.
on the fence. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. No homo. That too.
You dumbass.
It's Cotton awake. Cotton, you there? She's sleeping.
I think she must
Oh,
have fell asleep.
all right, cool then. Yeah, like I said, I'll be on my phone. Whatever, I'll check if you're not gonna lock off. But big up.
Yeah, we'll lock it off. Peace, man. Cotton, you sleep? Yeah, she must be asleep. Well, yeah, party people. We got 30 people in the house. Hit the motherfucking like button on the way out, and yeah. Who we got? Mr. Pelu.
How you doing? You have Italy one, right? You have Italy one?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good. I get to fuck with the UK people because you know we got them, so it's all good. Even though I've never watched one game of soccer my entire life, but we got that dub anyway.
You watch this game?
Nah, I didn't. You know, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Where did everybody go? Where did everybody in the show go?
Yeah, everybody left, man. I was gonna lock it off,
Oh, so
as they
I'm
say.
I'm the last person. So I got on at the right time. I'm on the subway.
Oh, okay. I see
Yeah, but
you.
this is a subway in DC subway. Look like.
Oh, big up, bro. That's
So
what's
what was the
up,
topic
but
today? Y'all talking about karma?
yeah, a little bit, because you know there was a lot of karma at work this week in these YouTube streets. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people uh got their fill. So yeah, man, there was, you know, channels taken down. There was exposers being exposed. There was mockers being mocked. There was doxers being doxed. It all kind of came full circle. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay,
wild.
you know all the stuff. See, I'm out of the loop of all the drama. I'm out of the loop. But yeah. So people get. Let me ask you this: did you see Born Rich yesterday? Did you see that guy that came on the Born Rich? The guy who supposedly wanted to be black. Did you see that?
No, I have to go back and watch it. Somebody was saying that. Yeah, what the hell was up with that?
It's a crazy story. I was there. Though. I was the one talking to him. I was talking to him. It was a crazy story. This is how it happened. I was on another stream called Critical African Thinkers, and I don't know if you know Bo Diddley. He was there too, right? And we were talking about
Yeah.
transracialism. So then when I went on Born's stream, I said, "Go Born, like he don't know what to talk about. Let's have a topic." He was suggesting topics, so I said, "Well, we talk about transracialism." I just got through talking about transracialism in another stream. And the Born, we started talking about a little bit, but the Born put his video, but this guy, right, who thought who wanted to be black. But lo and behold, somebody told that guy that Born had posted the video, and the guy came on, and then he started talking to us. It was a good talk though. We had a good talk. The guy actually came on the Born show. He came on the Born stream and started explaining his whole transformation from being white to black.
No shit, for real?
I'm serious. He came on
Oh,
because
I think that was that picture that they showed earlier. I think they put his picture up. He was a ginger guy, like a red hair guy.
Nah, he wasn't even a ginger guy. He was just he was a regular white guy. He wasn't ginger at all, like a regular white guy. But he said he's taking peptides. He said peptides help you increase your melanin production. So he's taking peptides to get in suntans. So now he looks dark because he's taking these peptides to darken his skin to help him suntan better.
What was his reason for like doing that though? Like why was it what he felt like a black person inside? Or like what was his Oh, are you there, bro? Man, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. That sounds crazy. Mr. Palo, are you there? Splinters up your bum sitting on the fence. Yeah, it's my favorite place to sit, eh? They've been saying that shit for me about this from the start. You remember that? You remember that way back in the day in the there goes Mr. Pelu in the Lion Den days. I think my first beef with I think when I had a little beef with Rosberg, he said I was a fence sitter, sitting on a fence. And then I remember Jedi said the same thing about me. And who else said that shit? Someone else said that. Yeah. You know, at a fence is the best place to be, though, is because, like, I don't fucking take up people's flags. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to start dick riding for people, fangirling and shit, like taking up people's things and this and that. Like, nah, I never really been like that. Like, I'll be cool with people until they, you know, give me a reason not to, and then it's like, fuck them after that. So, yeah. The weed is real good up here on the fence, though, I tell you what. You be chilling. You know what I'm saying, though? You sit up here and watch everybody else fucking self-destruct, man. Shit is wild. People start beefing for no fucking reason. Yeah, but on that note, I'm gonna go wrap it up. Big up to everyone in the chat. Peace to all the real ones. Fuck all the haters.